This is what happens when you try to do things at the 11th hour. That didn't work. Oh well. Guess I'll just have to use my phone and show you instead. Au revoir. Cousin Ken. Immediately with the subscription. My goodness. Hi, Dark Crew Patrol. Hi, Cousin Ken. Welcome. Hi. It's been a bit. Well, as I previously mentioned on my last stream, I believe, I have been on a little holiday. Actually, little is kind of an understatement, honestly, because I flew out on the 26th of January to go to Japan. Oh my goodness, Dark Crew Patrol, you're currently on a 45 stream streak. My goodness. Hi, Delimited, welcome on in. And also, hi everyone. It's weird because I want to say welcome back to you guys. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. So I'm gonna say it anyway. Welcome back. But yeah, I flew out to Japan on the 26th of January, and I only got back on the 21st of February. Our plane was ever so slightly delayed by like 10 minutes, which means that indeed I got back on the 21st of February. So that is, if you include the travel day, well, if you don't include the Saturday, because it was only like 5 minutes or so, but if we include the Monday, the 26th, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 days we were away. Good grief. That is a long time. So, also hi. Hello. I hope the stream chat is working, but we'll soon find out. But yeah, so big holiday. Big holiday. Can't imagine being off the blessed shores of the great land of Australia. Well, I suppose that now I can imagine it. Funnily enough. So what I was trying to do before the stream started was I was trying to get my phone to mirror like a little screen capture or something, but it didn't quite work out, so I have given up. That would have made certain things a little bit easier to showcase, but oh well, I guess we're doing it this way instead. Anyway, shall we get started then? Also, one thing that I will do, I'm authorized to say, welcome back, Mr. Skynard. Thank you, Delimited. I appreciate it. Au revoir. Look, I have audio. Haha. Hope your holiday was good. And not too... Haha! Haha! Oh, we're gonna get to that, Delimited. We're gonna get to that. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Oh dear. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. That's going to be more like a topic for tomorrow night and Wednesday night. So tomorrow night I'm planning to go over the Horde and the stuff that I bought. And Wednesday night is going to be like a final thoughts / reflections sort of thing. And that's where I'm going to talk about that more. Tonight I just want to show off the photos that I've taken and the videos and stuff. Also, let me know how the audio is from Spotify there, because it might be a bit loud. So do let me know. If it's a little loud, I can turn it down. But in the meantime, shall we get started with... This is going to be slightly scuffed, so I apologize, but, you know, it is what it is. So, I have taken over 1,000 photos slash videos, so this could be a long one, and I'm supposed to take Dad to the airport in the morning because it's my turn. Yay! What I figured we'd do is if I don't get through everything, I'm just going to have to stream an extra night this week. Oh no! And tomorrow night we'll go through the rest of the photos slash videos. Is that at the Singapore airport or Kuala Lumpur? Good guess, actually, Delimited, because this is indeed at the Singapore airport. This is at the Lego store. So they had like an entire little Lego display of the fountain that they have at the Singapore airport, which, if I can control, will eventually get there. But I also took a photo of this giant Mario statue that just so happened to be at one of the stores, because why not? Just buy a Nintendo Switch, just go to the airport to buy your Nintendo Switch 2. You know, just casual things. Singapore Airport, by the way, is fucking massive. There are 4 terminals, and they're all linked together with a, it's a monorail, but it's not quite a proper monorail because it runs on, like, tires or something. It's not really a magnet system, I think. Or at least that's what my friends were mentioning to me. So, we visited, I believe, at least 3 out of 4 terminals, but I think we did go to all 4 terminals, but we didn't spend a lot of time here because we only had like a 5-hour layover. So, it's a single rail though, so I guess it does count as a monorail? I don't know, it's weird. I didn't really take a photo of it, so I don't quite remember, and we didn't really see it last time, like when we were flying back. So we had a layover both ways in Singapore Airport, but the layover the second time was much shorter. Some very low duty ones do have rubber tires. It's probably one of those, to be honest. But yeah, it did have like a very, like it was quick enough to get you around the airport. But yeah, Singapore Airport was just fucking massive. They have a giant koi fish pond. And those koi fish, this photo does not do it justice. Those koi fish were fucking huge. So, did it straddle on or was it suspended by the rail? It was straddled on top of it. It wasn't suspended. And I believe that is our plane there. So we caught a Singapore Airlines flight. And there was actually no, sorry, this was on the way to like our gate. And then we caught the 10,000th Airbus aircraft whilst we were there, which was kind of cool. So whilst we were wandering around, we went through the giant fountain thing that you saw earlier on the Lego thing. We actually went past here twice. There's no in real life. We actually went through here twice. The first time we went through, it was too early in the morning and the fountain wasn't on. Because our first flight from Perth to Singapore was, I think it was, actually no, I've got the tickets here, I can just explain. To Japan. Yeah, it was at 1:15 in the morning. So we got into Singapore Airport at about 6:30ish. So the fountain wasn't on, but they turned it on a little bit later. And because we had a 5-hour layover, we could do what we want, so. I took a few photos of this. Now, we didn't actually go and see it, because to go and see it, you have to leave the airport. And if you leave the airport, that means you have to fill in a whole bunch of documentation, because you're leaving the airport. So, we opted not to do that, and we just saw it from the monorail. This is in Tokyo. This was the only photo that I took in Tokyo Airport. It was significantly less impressive than the Singapore Airport, but I think that's because we literally just arrived. Oh boy. We arrived in Tokyo late. Be legally entering another country in the and not the International Space City. Yeah, exactly. So we arrived late. We were supposed to arrive at, I think, about 10 o'clock at night or something. Let me check my ticket. 9:40 was when we were supposed to arrive at Tokyo. However, we got stuck on the tarmac, and I can now officially say that I have been stuck on the tarmac at an airport. We were stuck on the tarmac for almost an entire hour. For a minute, I thought for sure we were going to get thrown off the plane. And we were going to miss our we were going to have to get another flight or something and end up spending the night in Singapore airport. But no, we did go. Except we got to Tokyo at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And by the time we got through customs and everything, it was almost midnight, if not gone midnight. Which means the trains and the buses and all forms of public transport were very close to stopping. Oh. That's a problem. After trying and failing to use, like, Uber or Didi or one of those other, like, little weird app taxi services that you've got, eventually we just used the airport's taxi service. We found out where that was, which took its own time. And ride-sharing apps. Yes, thank you. That's a good way to put it. Yes, ride-sharing apps. We tried several ride-sharing apps. They all seemed to just be failing us miserably. So eventually we managed to find the taxi area for the airport. And we talked to the person there, and then, because there's four of us. There's me, there's my friend Casper, there's my friend Soren, and there's my friend Doki Hu. We were joined by my friends Jayag and Desert a little bit later on into our trip, like right at the end of the Tokyo stay. So there's four of us, and each of us has a large suitcase, man. So, and I think, I'm trying to remember if Doki Hu and Casper put their small suitcases inside their large suitcases or not, but either way, they had to like point us down a bit to get us to a big taxi, and that poor taxi driver only just somehow managed to Tetris all of our suitcases into the frickin' taxi. Oh my goodness. We showed him the address of the Airbnb, and that's where we were staying. And he took us pretty much the entire way there. We just had to walk down like a little alleyway, and we were there, which was great. Very late and very, very tired. With the rear suspension sagging significantly. Honestly, no. At least it didn't feel like it. But the taxi was, like, it felt like about a 40 to 50 minute taxi ride from the Tokyo airport to where we were staying as well. So we arrived very, very late and very, very tired. We got changed into our PJs and went straight to bed pretty much. This is of course the next day. So this was near where we were staying. Don't ask me where exactly, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But it looked cool, I took a photo. That I think might be Skytree, I'm not sure. In Australia, that would be like $300. What, you mean the taxi service? I don't even remember how much it cost us, but it definitely wasn't $300. Like, it was actually kind of cheap. I think that's Skytree there, I think. The others would be able to correct me on that. This is another bridge near where we were. So the first day that we were there, we were kind of just sort of relaxing. Like, we started the day very, very late because we were very tired. And I think we went to a shopping mall. Yeah, we did. Funny DK plush toy. Hello, DK. So this is another bridge, but it's towards nighttime, or another area, and it's now getting dark. It gets dark very early in Japan. Like, 4 o'clock seems to be around the time that the sun is set. So, it just gets dark. Very quickly. Very, very early and very, very quickly.
This is a safe space. What's on your mind?
Oh, shut up, Spotify.
Good.
And your
She just,
ads.
does things. She noticed the leaky tap in the
Yeah,
room.
we're gonna have to put up with that. I'm not paying for Spotify Premium. It's like $20 a month here in Australia. Fuck that nonsense.
Empty, lost. She's the opposite of everyone I've ever hired.
If
I wonder
you're
if I
not used to
can
great
maybe-
employees, you need Indeed. Get a $200 credit from Indeed. Visit Indeed.com.
I wonder if I could, like, just mute the ad. Wait for it to pass. But yes, we also went out, I believe that same night, to, a little, whatchamacallit, video game retro store. And, some tips on ad-free Spotify. I mean, please do. If you have an idea, please do. Just DM them. Because I would love to. For legal reasons, Spotify, this is definitely a joke, and I'm definitely planning on paying your premium prices. Teehee. There. I also took a photo, so I took a photo of Heart Gold and Soul Silver because this is the cheapest you'll ever find it. So 7,980 yen is roughly $79 Australian. These are boxed copies. However, they don't have the Pokewalker. I'm seeing that now, so... I found a boxed copy of Pokemon White version 2 for $44, which isn't too bad. A boxed copy of Super Mario RPG for $29. For $39, a boxed copy of Super Mario World. For $44, a boxed copy of Mario Kart 64. And for $19, a boxed copy of Yoshi's Story. I think this is still the same day. I'm not entirely sure of, like, what days are the same and what's not the same, so you'll have to bear with me on that one. I will see if I can figure it out. Buy any of them, Skylar? You can wait to find out tomorrow! So... Plurail is something that I have a big interest in, so I took a lot of photos of Plurail layouts. Whenever I saw a Plurail layout, I took a photo of it. Look how nuts this thing is. This is just a store display. It's just sitting here, man. That is ridiculous. And I think next to it was another little display, but this one was inside glass, so the trains were actually running on this one, whereas they weren't on the other one. But yeah, just... the spirals are insane. Oh, back to this one again. This was a pretty little shot. Hi, little James. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. So this was a nice little shot of like a little gazebo, I guess, over here. Again, at nighttime. A lot of photos are going to be at nighttime. So this is definitely the next day. Oops. We went to a... I think it's called... yeah, well, Soup Stock Tokyo. There you go. I got the Van Gogh... You'll see what I got in a minute. I think this is what I ordered, though. I got the Van Gogh onion soup and the non-spicy mild curry with 7 types of vegetables. And I got, like, a little curry and soup combo. And that's what it looked like. This was... To be fair... So I think now I need to talk about this. I'm not really a food blogger, I suppose, but I do tend to take a lot of photos on food. And one of my friends challenged me. I had 2 challenges. First, I need to upload 1 image, it doesn't matter what it is, to my socials every day. Doesn't matter what the image is. And then my friend Mars challenged me to take a photo of everything that I eat and everything that I drink. I already failed the mission because this was the first time I took a photo. But I can safely say the curry was very nice. The soup, not so much. I wasn't a fan of the soup. The soup, not great. Looks like diarrhea. Nah, it looks like curry to me. They have plush toys of Mario Kart World. Not in the soup store, of course. In another store. But like... What? This is something you would never see here. And it's Mario Kart World, because they've got like the little stickers on the side. Oh. There's also a plush toy of Metal Mario for some reason. Metal Mario or Silver Mario? I just like this figure of Wario, so I took a photo of it. This is downtown Tokyo somewhere as we were exploring around. And also some very interesting buildings. Excellent! Audio. Like, just... This is the kind of architecture you just wouldn't see here in Australia. Like, what is going on? What is going on here? Also, I have my mouse so I can point things out. And then I have little photos of birds. These birds were just like hopping along Panasonic Solar Arc. I don't think so. I'm not sure. If we did, I don't think I took a photo of it. I didn't recognize it. So these little birds were just like hopping around rather than... The pigeons are all like walking around them and these little birds are just like hopping along. It was so funny. Right, and now I need to pause the music for a sec. Because... either next or one more is a video. Yeah, here we go. I have no idea if you can hear that. So... this is from a whatchamacallit, a digital art lab called Team Labs. There are several in Japan. We went to the one in Tokyo. It's basically a giant art exhibition using a ton of screens, and over the course of the day, the screens change what they're displaying. So these frogs, when we first came into this room, these frogs were not here. And we came back a little bit later on, and these frogs are all here playing this music. How awesome is that? Team Labs was a thing that just, you have to experience it. So this is, all of these are at Team Labs. This is all a screen, by the way. This is all moving. It's a photo, so it's not moving. But this is all moving around. The entire room is just screen. It was just insane. And you can walk up and touch the screen in some points and interact with some objects, which we'll see a little bit later. But, like, it doesn't feel like you're touching a TV or monitor. It feels like you're touching, like, a very thin cloth or something. It was just so weird. So then these blue streaks started to fall, and it simulated water. And so you have a giant waterfall, and when you sit down, it folds around you. How cool is that? You sit down and you break the water stream. It knows where you are. It was insane. Alright, let's get that music back up just in case, because I don't know when the next videos are going to show up. I don't know what technology they use. I have no idea. And then you had these birds, and you can touch the birds, and they just pop. So they were flitting around the screen. This is in another room. This down here is actually like a tiger, but it's all blocked up, and you kind of, I don't know if like we were uncovering it or what we were doing really. Like it didn't seem to be uncovering it when we touched this area, so I'm not sure. But you could definitely see it hiding there. And there's a cheetah there. A little bit more of the tiger. There's the tiger, a bit better. And there's like a little panther or something there. So this is back in that other room that we saw before, the one with the water. And now you've got all these little symbols falling down and this rainbow. This is going to be constant, by the way. I'm just going to have to like constantly be pausing, because I don't know when the videos are going to show up, so... So what you can do here is you can touch these characters, and each one of these is like, it's a different word. So some will say fire, some will say water, some will say tree or grass or something like that, or fireflies or light. And you touch them. I'm not sure if this is the video where I touch one. And you get these cool little effects like this. So that's where I touched a symbol, and like all these little shoots sprouted. I think this is the one where I touched something. Nope, I guess not. This is it. So you touch it, it disappears, and then you get a cool effect! And it's just like a mix and match. So you touch something else, and then that does a thing too. So it sounds like a dream. It's so cool! And then, again in the same room, I believe, there was more water falling, but this time around, you walk away from it and it follows you. Like you spin it, it follows you. It's so weird. It was so cool, yet so weird. And there's like a little ramps sort of thing, which is what I'm now standing on, so it can't follow me up. So it just stops and it just sort of folds around. Oh, it was so good. These were little bunny rabbits hopping around. This was in another room completely. This is just a room full of like little LED lights, and they're all joined together. And there was like a control panel and you could control the lights. And this one was like a room where it just looks like there's just a ton of like weird lily pads sort of thing. So again, all of this is moving. and you're just walking along them and also trying to find the path because the room is dark as heck. The good news is you can playfully bump into these and you're not going to hurt the exhibit. I wouldn't try and push your way through some of them, but like if you happen to accidentally brush against something, you're not going to hurt the exhibit. But yeah, you can see how it can be really hard to see some of them. Team Labs was just so... This is another exhibit. These are all just glass balls. And dodging them was quite interesting. Because there's so many of them. Like, look at that. This is hard to walk around. This was another room. I think this one had like a little mist spray on it that you walk through. And then there's this room. This room is a giant aquarium full of fish that you can draw and color in. Fish are friends, not food. This is people's colouring in of jellyfish, fish, sharks, and you touch them and they react. Like, holy moly, man. That's just cool. And then there was a giant whale shark that shows up in this area as well. So I had to record that. Because that just showed up. So there was like a little side room, and you could select like what you wanted to color in, like seahorse, jellyfish, a fish, or a shark. And you could take that into this other room, you color it in, and then you come back out with your picture, and the staff member is just like, hey, look over there. And you literally watch it dropping into the tank. It was so cool. And the whole thing too, like, the whole thing is one exhibit. Like, it's one big exhibit. So if you remember the frogs, you walk into the hallway and the frogs are walking along the hallway. They're not just stuck in that one room. They were walking along the hallway to get into that room in the first place. That's where you saw the rabbits from before. They were just in one of the hallways between exhibits. It was just insane. Also, several of the fish managed to escape and ended up on the other screens. On the rooms on like the hallway outside, which was very funny. And professional camera work there. So yeah, then you've got like these, I'm guessing these are boars, and they're just like on their way down the hall. And they were joined by men, basically, like little, I wanted to say samurai because the first one was a samurai, but it looks like just people in general. Like, that's cool. How awesome is that? And they're all just going somewhere. You don't know where they're going, you have to kind of follow them. I think this one, when my phone was actually turned sideways, but... And then the boar creatures came back, but they're all in this state now. Like, huh? So this was another room with giant glass balls that are just moving along a track. Alright, we're done with Team Labs now. We're outside. This was just a cool little area that is right outside Team Labs. A nice little creek. Again, with the crazy architecture going on here. That, I think, is Sky Tokyo Tower or something like that, I think. God, I'm gonna get so many angry comments from my friends that were with me on the trip. This is still, like, kind of outside Team Labs. We walked around, like, a little bit of the building. I think we were trying to find a place for lunch or something. Again, what is this architecture? What is this? It's just wild. Very pretty, but like, holy moly, man. Insane. Oh, there's another photo of Tokyo Tower. So there's a Tokyo Tower in the background, and that's this thing. This whatever it is. But yeah, it was just a cool little garden here. I feel like this photo does not do this justice. These buildings are fucking huge. Now, remember, I've not left this country before. I have never seen buildings this tall. This is ridiculous. And that's one thing too, like, when we were when we were in the taxi going to the airport, right? I was expecting, like, at some point, you know, the buildings would stop for a little bit and we get, like, grass and, you know, like, maybe go past a quiet little village or town or something like that. Nope. It was just a concrete jungle from the airport all the way to Tokyo. And honestly, it was like that until we got on the Shinkansen. Like, at any point, you're just waiting for it to just, like, level out, and it's just going to be regular-sized homes and everything. Nope. Doesn't fucking happen. It's just city. Holy crap. Another cool building with a little ring on the top. Yeah, it's just so impressive. Oh, found another store that sold Nintendo stuff. Took a photo of Pikmin plushies. Never seen Pikmin plushies before, not in real life. So, aside from the ones that my friends have, the Bulbub can eat the Pikmin. I took a photo of, like, a little terrarium, which I thought was very cool. I wanted one of these, but I can tell you right now, it would not have survived the trip home. The glass would have shattered. So, and that would have been no matter how I packed it. So I was like, yeah, no, I can't take you home. This, I believe, is Shibuya downtown, which I had to take a photo of because it's a location in Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Yeah, this is, I think, Shibuya? Which was just, look at all the people! It is so busy here. It is not even funny. I thought I had seen crowds. I had not seen crowds. Super duper busy as hell, man. Like, look at this. Good grief, it's insane. And the giant screens and everything. Oh my goodness. Oh look, I remembered to take a photo of my Coke. One thing that I also found interesting too was the amount of ice that they put in your cold drinks. I don't like being around so many people. You're not gonna like Japan then. The amount of ice that they put in their drinks. Like, here in Australia, they're kind of stingy, even in the middle of summer. In Japan, it's the middle of winter, and you lose a third of your drink to the amount of ice that they put in your drink. It's ridiculous. I have no desire to go there anyway. Ah, fair enough. This was like it's like a miniature little Hamburg steak sushi. This was good. This was very nice. It looks like we went to a restaurant called Kura. I have no idea what sushi that is, but I kind of remember the taste. It tasted alright. I still preferred the Hamburg, though. Usually uses a bulking agent to put less actual drink in it. Yeah, and, like, that's definitely what they were doing. They overloaded it with ice in the middle of winter when it's already cold. I think that's, like, sashimi or something? With a, like, little cheese sauce over the top. That was good. There's a different kind of Hamburg steak. This one was actually, like, one Hamburg steak, but there's two different, like, little beds of rice underneath it. Oh, we're in a Disney store now. The theming here was fantastic. So you've got, like, a little Pinocchio workshop. There's Jeremy up there. Is it Jeremy? God, I don't remember. Oh, now we're in a Nintendo store. You might have seen these upon occasion from when I've streamed on my Switch, and like it comes up with my little icon. That little Yoshi there is my icon. So this was cool to see. I was very, very happy seeing this stuff. They have Splatoon little tech decks for some reason. Giant statue of Link, that was very cool. I want all of this. But again, it probably wouldn't survive the trip home, or at least the dishes wouldn't. Oh, those are like little... Those are like little egg-shaped things, I guess? I don't know. I thought they were rice things, but they're not. Also, I forgot to play the music again. Sorry. Almost every single color of Yoshi is there. The only one missing is brown Yoshi. Like... Oh my goodness. Let's put the music back on. Shonen Jump store with a giant Monkey D. Luffy statue. That was very cool. Then we found the Pokemon Center. And they had Mewtwo in a stasis tube, which was just... That's cool. That is cool as fuck. Also, Pokemon Center, even busier than the Nintendo store. Which makes buying something from the Pokemon Center extremely difficult. Because you have to wait like 20 to 30 minutes to buy something. Exclusive Pikachu merch. There's a little Trico. I took a photo for Crimson. A very cute little Charmander holding a little Charizard plush toy. And a little Wooper with a little Quagsire. They were very cute. These, I think these are blind boxes, so you don't know what you're gonna get, and they make like a full set. But you can also buy just the full set if you want to. Again, I was worried about these making it all the way home, so I didn't bother with any of these, but they looked really, really nice. I'd love to get a few of these. The Pokeball terrariums are things that I have seen in the past with other people making them, so it was interesting to see a official one. And I do like the Celio and Spheal here, and the Delibird and Piplup. This was also a cool one as well. Very cool little statues, man. But remember, you don't know what you... Flygon. You remember though, you don't know what you're gonna get, and that's why I didn't buy them, because I wanted specific Pokemons. I was like, Very short video of Mewtwo. There was a video playing in the background on it, on the tube. So in this same shopping center, there's also a Sega store. There's also a Monster, well, not a Monster Hunter, a Capcom store, which you didn't see because I didn't take a photo of it. But there's also a Sega store. These are Sonic plush toys with multiple Sonics and Knuckles and Tails all over them. Which is just ridiculous. This is also funny. Sonic and Friends Sanrio characters, like a little crossover here. So Sonic's dressed as Hello Kitty, which was very funny. Again, more of these wild Sonics with these wild patterns. Little Sonic figures. On the same day, we also went to Tower Records, which is basically a giant record store. And for some reason, I found Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You on a tape. Side A, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Side B, All I Want for Christmas Is You, live at the Tokyo Dome. What? Hi Cindy, welcome on in. Cassette tapes are still sold? In Japan they are. That was a half-eaten meal of something. I think we actually... No, we cooked that. We cooked dinner one night, and that was the night we cooked dinner. Every now and then, Soren would cook up some rice for themselves and everyone else, but one night we cooked dinner. I have no idea what we made. We just had a bunch of vegetables, had a bunch of rice, and we just sort of threw it all together with some curry powder. That's basically what we had. It was pretty good. Random food. And that's the cereal that I was having for the first part of the trip. That did me up until... Not this bag. I had to buy like 3 bags, I think. That did me up until Osaka, and then I had to buy a different cereal, which I don't think I took a photo of. This is on the way to another shopping center. Again? Hello? What is this? Absolutely wild architecture again. What? What? The buildings are just ridiculously cool, honestly. And there's a cargo ship. And another ship of some kind. Back to these cool buildings. There's a bus down there. Public transport is very good, but also very confusing. I am so glad that we had Doki-Hu to help us. Doki-Hu and Soren basically saved our butts multiple times. Doki-Hu is from Japan and has family in Japan, so they knew where to go and had a rough idea of their bearings, so they were the ones taking us everywhere. And in the moments when they got confused and weren't sure which way to go, especially in train stations, because those train stations are huge and confusing, Soren was just like, okay, we need to head to this exit, this is the way we go, and was just like able to point out on the signs and read the signs a bit better. So we worked together and figured it out, but I have such a terrible sense of direction, I was no help at all. Also, very, very crowded. Very crowded. Most days we found ourselves standing up on the train, standing up on the bus, regardless of the time that we got on the bus or on the train. Pretty sure this is a train line too. If I had to hazard a guess. Toyota Arena Tokyo. So that's just there. See the staff with the white gloves who shove people into the train so the doors can shut? No. Although, there were multiple times where it felt like they couldn't even try to squeeze more people into the trains. I think this is on our way to Skytree this morning. I think. There's like a little test track. There's a Legoland, and Bluey and Bingo, but if you look closely, Bluey is made out of regular Lego bricks. And Bingo is made out of Duplo. That's cute. Random capybara from from what I'm assuming is like an animal cafe / weird petting zoo. It was just hanging around outside for whatever reason. Man. So there's the Tokyo Tower or whatever. So remember how close we were to that when we were at Team Labs? Well, now we're over here. Miles away from it. Gosh, Japan is such a beautiful country. He said, staring at the concrete buildings. I took a lot of photos here. Oh, we're in a Disney store again. There's these weird little plush toys called Unibesties. I took this photo because it was really, really cute. I love the artwork here. Also, Max does not get enough representation from Disney, but apparently Japan loves him. So he gets a little bit of representation, which is very cool. Ha! More Plurale. I don't think this toy store had a... Never mind. I was gonna say it. I don't think it had a display. Never mind. It did. Shut up, Ad. Never mind. It did. Just ridiculous. There's also these things. I used to have one of these when I was a kid, where they would follow these like little tracks in the ground. These were actually turned on and moving. Or at least the train was. I think the bus might have stopped. I took a photo of this game because I saw it so much in Japan, and I was very, very, very keen to try it. It's basically like a Monopoly train game? The only problem is, I think it's only this... This is the new one that's just come out. This is the older one, but this one does have an English mode, but you won't be able to buy that in Japan. I had to wait until I came back home so I could possibly buy it. I do want to try it, though. Monopolis Mass Transit. Defeat your competition so you can drive up ticket prices. Oh look, another Plurale display. I think this is the other side of that one from before. With a little Toys R Us. Oh, that's right, this was a Toys R Us! Right, because that's still a thing in Japan. I did not come out of this Toys R Us unscathed. Also, random Mario baseball toy? Mario baseball represented? Huh. Weird. A very cool Zoid figure. I'm assuming that's a figure. Yeah, it must be a figure. It's not a... I don't think that's a model kit. I need to get into Zoids, man. Oh, look! It's the first of many... Oh, no, never mind. That's a Wendy's. Never mind. It's a Wendy's chicken burger of some kind. I actually kind of forgot that we even went to Wendy's. The chips were not fantastic, if I remember. The burger was okay. Look! We were in New York! We were totally and definitely in New York! I thought Wendy's sold ice cream in shopping center food courts. Not here! They sell actual food. It's a Kirby automaton. Goes to Japan, eats at Wendy's, visits New York. Good way to put it, Cindy. Good way to put it. Food. And then there's a miniature automaton Kirby. What? Just crazy. I think that was one of the buildings from before, maybe. That is what I call a parking garage. It's the kind of thing we need at my local shopping center. because parking is a fucking nightmare. Although I think Soren would greatly disagree, and to be fair, it is a bit of an eyesore. Giant Gundam! Giant Gundam. Just standing out the side of a shopping center. Apparently, it can, at like certain times of the day, or certain days of the week, it actually moves around as well. Just extremely big and very cool. Ah, that's where we are. Diver City, Tokyo Plaza. There you go. Look, I can tell you a location. That's by design. Regarding the parking garages, yeah. Backside! This is all just Splatoon. Aside from this stuff down here. There's also a Godzilla store. I took a photo of this because of this little guy down here. He's trying his best. So these are the LEGO Animal Crossing sets. I've not actually seen these. I still have all of mine in boxes, and I never see them on display, but they had a little display here, and it looked very cute. Yeah, we're at another LEGO store, in case you couldn't tell. There's the Arctic Ice Train. I've got that too. Is that it there? Yes, that's it there. And they had like these little, all this cotton around to simulate the snow. That was very cool. Little guy hiding at a Studio Ghibli store. Little guy hiding. He's just in a little weird like corner. You have to get down low to look for him. Oh look, some pizza flavored chips. I was kind of disappointed in these. They tasted more like cheese than pizza, but I think they're supposed to be like a really cheesy pizza. But yeah, they tasted not great. This was a cute poster we saw. Also, IDW characters here with Whisper and Tangle. Very cool. I'm so glad that they're getting a lot of representation, these two characters. Hi Doctor, welcome on in, and thank you for the welcome back. Also Cream and Knuckles with VR headsets and cheese. Not sure exactly what this was advertising, but I think it was like a fire safety sort of thing. But yeah, this was just in a poster near where we were staying. This is another day. I'll try to point out when another day happens, but I could be very wrong. So like, I've definitely missed a couple of days. Ah, today is Skytree. That's Skytree. We're going up Skytree. Eventually. Eventually. Bird. I did say eventually, but first here's a Studio Ghibli store. I'm so scared at the top of Skytree. Kirby Cafe! This was an actual Kirby Cafe. Look at the food! Skytree. This is an advertisement. So sometimes in Japanese malls, you'll see a board that shows you all of the food that you can find on a particular floor, rather than all of the shops, because it's a floor with food on it, right? So they take these little photos of the food, and this is the one that they chose for the Kirby Cafe. It was so cute. This is inside Skytree now, and there's just this massive display here. With little, screens in the middle of it. Okay, we're going up Skytree now. Hello! We're in Skytree. I think over this way somewhere might be Disneyland. I think. Yeah. Maybe around that Ferris wheel-ish. Hi, Chazu. Welcome on in. No, I'm not adorable. I think around here-ish. That's Disneyland. To give you a sense of scale. We'll be going there soon. I took a lot of photos at Skytree, so be ready for that. Yeah. That is, I believe, Tokyo Disneyland. Although, I'm pretty sure that's not Tokyo Disneyland. Because it's a Ferris wheel, and there wasn't a Ferris wheel at Tokyo Disneyland. A different way now, and we've got like a giant river that goes all the way down. You go so high up. Like, you... Blech, lost for words here. Because you stand next to these buildings and they're as tall as skyscrapers, and then you come in here, and oh boy! You're above all of it. It is just insane. Also, do you see what I mean when I said that it's just a concrete jungle? Like, look how far this stretches. This is ridiculous. And it's in... What's worse? This is just one direction. This is in every direction around the tower. It just goes on and on and on and on. Try to avoid being near windows when in tall structures. Fair enough. Oh, this is a video I took of that river that stretches up there. It looks miserable. It was just so cool being up there. I zoomed in on this bridge over here. Well, this knob wouldn't have gotten me up there. Oh no. Also, that's just here, on top of a building. E-tax. Another mascot that you can see from the top of Skytree. Gosh. This just stretches on and on. Like, look how far out you can see buildings still. They're way out over there on the horizon, and they're still going. I'm not gonna bother pausing the music for this, because this is just background noise that you can hear. Probably should mute the video, to be honest. But like, yeah. That is the shadow of Skytree, by the way. That's where we are. Look at the giant shadow it's cast. Holy crap. And again, look how far this stretches. Look at it. Way out there, there's still buildings going on. down here, this looks like a model railroad. But it's not. This is actually part of the train tracks. And look how wild this infrastructure is. Like, there's a train track here that comes alongside and then disappears here. There's this train track that goes along here. Oh, hi, train. There's another train track that goes this way. Like, the infrastructure is nuts. There's another bit of train track, because of course I took a photo of train tracks. Are these train tracks too? They look like train tracks. And they go over a bridge over there. Like, my goodness. Did you enjoy all the subways, trains? I certainly did. There was just so much. Very cool bridges in the background here. Not sure what these are supposed to be containing, though. A very cool footbridge. Like, who came up with this design? That's cool as fuck. That was me following the train track there. Zooming in a bit. Just goes on and on. And there's Tokyo, I think that might be Tokyo Tower. So again, to give you a sense of, if that is Tokyo Tower, to give you a sense of scale, remember we were close to that. Now we're over here. Oh yeah, followed a train. Whilst this is playing, I'll take a sip of water. See, like, there's 3 trains there. And another one up there. Trains just going every which direction. These tiny little dots are people on that, I think that's a soccer court. Just ridiculous. Again, look how far out these buildings all stretch. No, but I don't want to rain on your parade, but what's so special about trains? Every big city has trains. Yeah, but I like trains. And there's just bridges, highways, just going everywhere. The infrastructure here is insane. I couldn't tell you which direction that we're looking through. I think at one point I did take a few photos of like a directional map, but oh, shut up. Oh, Nub is one of those people. Oh no, the horror. More photos of the court. Like, this is just ridiculous. Concrete everywhere until you find a random shrine or park and suddenly you're in the forest for a few minutes. Was it morning or afternoon in this picture? I think this was more towards afternoon. We got there in the morning, but we stayed for a couple of hours, so almost like it was turning towards afternoon. Because the sun sets, like I said, the sun sets very early, so it looks like afternoon. What is that over there? Cunis or Aurus or something? Also, I think we've actually gone up a level too, by the way. So I think you're looking to the west, west-ish. Yeah, for Land of the Rising Sun, it sure goes down early. So we've actually gone up. We've gone higher in the tower, I think, at this point. Because everything looks even further away. But, like... Holy shit. Oh my giddy aunt. Look at all of that. Just stretches for miles and miles and miles. So that, I think, is the previous deck that we were standing on. Now we're higher. I couldn't tell you how higher, but we're higher than that. I found a cool river which was like spurting out from the sewerage system or something. I don't know. Oh, should probably go full screen again. Yeah, here we go. So there's Tokyo Disney Resort over there. So it's not the Ferris wheel. It's close to the Ferris wheel, I think. It's somewhere over there-ish. Yeah, so this is looking south. So somewhere over here is Tokyo Disneyland Resort. I think, actually, that might be it there. Forget this, I think that's it over there. Possibly. Again, it just stretches. So this is that same railway that I spotted before. But now we're higher up. This one's looking east. I want to say Narita Airport was where we flew in from? I think? Maybe? Because I think Tokyo has multiple airports, but I'm not sure. No, we flew in from Haneda. Or we flew into Haneda. So, I'm not seeing that anywhere. But that's Narita Airport. That's a different airport. Okay. Mystery solved there. There's the shadow of Skytree again. Can you imagine living in that shadow? That would be annoying. Oh look, my Godzilla finger puppet. First photo of a finger puppet that I actually took. Of course I had to use Godzilla in front of the tiny city. Thinking about that. You mean living in the shadow? I mentioned that whilst we were there. I was like, imagine living in that. Imagine living in this area and then they build Skytree and then you're just permanently stuck in a shadow. They had a little promotion for something going on, which is what this archway is. Again, not too sure about that. Yeah, it would be annoying. Godzilla go squish. took like 10 or 12 finger puppets with me, and I took very few photos of them. Godzilla only came out here, and Gilmon came out in a couple of locations, and then that was it. Like, I took no more. Hey look, we found a shrine! Finally. That looks like a giant drop tower. Oh, that's a bit blurry. So now we're at the highest point in Tokyo Skytree, 451.2 meters above the ground. This is the highest point. Look at that highway. Oh, and you can also, like, there's a glass panel here, and you can walk across it.
That's awesome.
That's freaky. That's not scary at all. Not scary at all, walking across that. That was dinner. No fucking way. I think I might skip this one. Eh. Would never catch me doing that. Surprisingly, despite my fear of heights, I feel as though my friend Doki Who mentioned it best. Like, I was so high up that I wasn't scared anymore. So, like, walking across those glass panels like that, it did nothing. I didn't feel sick, or I didn't feel scared, or anything like that. I just casually walked across it like it was flooring. Sphere went over the limit and reset to 0, pretty much. It dreams about falling way too often. I'm trying to remember if this was a restaurant or not. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was a restaurant. Yeah, I think this was inside a shopping center again. Fear meter must only be 8 bits. Yeah, we're inside another shopping center. Haha. Yeah, so after Skytree, we went to a shopping center, I'm pretty sure. And we had some lunch. And then we shopped around a bit. So this is another Plarail shop, I'm pretty sure. And they had a Tarwagon James here on the wrong chassis. He's supposed to have black wheels, so he's on the wrong chassis here. Again, another ridiculous Plarail display. It's amazing what you can do in such a small area with Plarail, because you can stack it like this. There's a paint splattered Thomas as well from, I think it's from the Calling All Engines special. James and the Tar, there was Dirty Objects, or James and the Tar Wagons. That's what that's from. And then there's also a chocolate covered Percy. And this was a cute little story about these little teddy bears. Of course, I couldn't read it, and I didn't have the time to. By the time I took this photo, folks were moving on. I think we're in another Disney store too. This was also just cool. It's like a random box of Donald Duck. I love the fact that this one is called Pissed Off. Literally just pissed off. That's so funny. Which is why I took this photo. You would not see this in in like any Disney merch. It's literally just called Pissed Off. It's so funny. We're at another Pokemon Center here. This was very cool. Rayquaza bursting through the ceiling and Pikachu riding him. For some reason, I saw a ridiculous amount of shiny Rayquaza merch. I don't know why, but it just seems to be a thing in Japan? They just really like shiny Ray? And I don't know why. Oh, this didn't turn out too well on the photo, but this is basically a panel moving across with all the different Pokemon on it. I've, of course, spotted Flygon and immediately took a photo. Unfortunately, it looks like it didn't turn out too well. That one looks nah, it still looks crap. This is a Furret Skittle game. Or like a Furret bowling game. I wanted this so much. Very, very cool Meowth Spider-Man pose design. But I believe I didn't end up getting any of these or the deck box because I believe these are for Japanese cards, which are a bit smaller than English cards. So I didn't get them. Whack-a-Furret. This was inside the Kirby Cafe. I think this is still near Skytree. There's just a giant Wispy Woods here. Why not? This is Kirby merch from, I think, maybe a Kirby Cafe store? It's like a Kirby Cafe merch store, or maybe it's just a Kirby store. Maybe it's just a Kirby store, no, maybe it's just a toy store, actually. This was funny. No stealing. These are Monster Inc. finger puppets? Why is Randall so fat? Like, what's going on here? What happened? Why are you so fat? No stealing. They're also sold out, so I couldn't get one. But like, everyone else looks pretty normal, and then there's just Randall with a really fat belly for some reason. There we go, that's a nice clear picture of them. Why wouldn't he be? There was also a Five Nights at Freddy's pop-up restaurant, except it was about to close within the next couple of days, so there's just a bunch of sold out signs on half the menu. It did look good though. We're inside a building somewhere now. Ah, Tokyo Station. We're inside Tokyo. That's inside Tokyo Station. This is outside Tokyo Station. Boy, is it big. I wanted the Plurale of this. We actually saw the Plurale of this in one of the stores that we previously went to. But I didn't end up buying it. Look at it, it just stretches. It's so big. Very, very fancy. It gives like that old sort of station vibe. Hey look, Plurale! See, this is what I'm talking about. Look how insane this layout is. This one's a bit bigger than the ones we've seen previously, but like, holy crap. It's so cool what you can do in such a small space. Also, these are all the Thomas trains that they had in stock, including the Oyagawa Railway Thomas. There's Paint Splattered Thomas there. Yeah, there's the chocolate. There's chocolate covered Percy from Percy's Chocolate Crunch. I'm gonna skip this one too. Oh, actually, no, I won't, because it's Cousin D. I won't skip it. I'm a little worried about lyrics showing up. This is like the premium Plarail range, so the Railways looks a bit more... It doesn't have that toy vibe, which is like this stuff, the blue stuff. It looks a little bit more realistic. This was very cool as well. And again, more Plarail display. This was the store that I saw the Tokyo station at, and I very nearly bought it. Very nearly, but it was in quite a big box. And by this point in time, I'd bought quite an extensive amount of Plarail and was starting to freak out about how much space I had left in my luggage. Oops. Fox Gamer saying, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. EP Charizard. That fits in the palm of your hand. That was cute. I'm sorry, Mars, to disappoint you, but that was a 3/4 eaten burger. Oh, okay. Haha. There's our first Moss Burger. Or at least the first one that I took a photo of. We ate quite a bit of Moss Burger, especially during Tokyo. Is that an ad? Yes. Mute that. Moss Burger was okay. I think the problem was we ate so much of it during the Tokyo stay that I kind of got a bit sick of it by the end of, like, by the end of the Tokyo stay. We had eaten, like, Moss Burger 4 or 5 times, and I was kind of just sick of it. To be fair, it was the easiest way we could get vegan food. My friend Soren is a vegan. However, they also learned very quickly to not get a burger meal, because the size of the chips was just too small to bother with. So they had, from this point forward, they would buy 2 of the vegan burgers, and that would be enough. Rather than buying a burger meal, because it was really only one size of chips. But yeah, it was, like I said, it was good, but we had it like 2 to 3 times in a row on like different days, and I can't do that. I can't have the same kind of food multiple times in a row, with one possible exception on this trip. Also, chocolate donut. Oh, here we go. Guess where this is? Guess. Guess. Look how busy this is. Welcome to Tokyo Disneyland. So we're nearing the end of the Tokyo stay now, because this was one of the last things we did. This was during the second week. This was Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday. Ugh, some kind of corporate tourist trap. We did the Country Bear Jamboree. That was one thing that we did. I think that was after we did like 1 or 2 rides. I think we did the teacups first. I think that was our first ride. Big Castle. I think that was the Sleeping Beauty Castle. Baymax! Hi, Baymax. Baymax vending machines. With Mochi. Space Mountain was down for repairs. Giant waterfall. This was inside the Sleeping Beauty Castle, I'm pretty sure. This is during the queue. Yeah, yep. These are animatronics, by the way. This is not on a screen. This is animatronics. Oh, I didn't get a video of these guys. There's R2-D2 on the Star Tours ride? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is Star Tours. And there's C-3PO. And there's some shoddy camera work. And this is Pizza Palace. Five Nights at Beast's Castle. Baymax Burger. This was very cute, also very yummy. Good serving of chips, too. I think it was like a chicken burger of some kind. But yeah, it was very, very good. I should also point out that I think when we were at the shopping center for the... with the giant Gundam out the side, or outside rather, that was also the time when I realized that I had maybe made a bit of a boo-boo. We had booked to go to the Tokyo Railway Museum on the 2nd of February, and I didn't put it in my diary, no one had put it in their diary, and we kind of forgot about it because we were just going to so many different shopping centers at that point. So we accidentally didn't go. So that night we were just like, okay, well, we could probably just go there again, but we were worried that we were running out of days. And so I suggested maybe we should go to the Kyoto Railway Museum because there's one in Kyoto. So more on that in a little bit. A fun little display of Baymax. The different kinds of popcorn buckets that you can get. 5 adorable months. Nuh-uh. Doctor, thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate it. These are all popcorn buckets. All the different kinds. Very cool. So this is leading up to the Winnie the Pooh ride now. Pooh's Honey Hunt. I loved the map of the 100 Acre Wood. This is all English too, which was interesting. There, a hunting trophy, said Rabbit. That's not bad. I had to take a photo of this. This is just funny. That's Disney Castle itself. I took a few photos of that. And now we're in Toontown. Found a hidden Mickey on one of the lampposts. So all throughout the park there are these little hidden Mickey symbols. And there's like a whole document on them. So that's what they're supposed to look like. Hidden Mickey. This was at the House of Cards restaurant. So like a little Hamburg steak and some rice and a little miso soup. I also didn't realize that they had Coca-Cola, so I got a milk box. That's just regular milk, by the way. Baymax curry! This is definitely the next day. So we spent 2 days at Tokyo Disneyland and 1 day at Tokyo Disney Sea. But yeah, this is lunchtime the next day. This is a Baymax curry. So on this side, there's beef. And on the other side of the rice sculpture of Baymax is chicken. We also gave Casper horrible, horrible nightmares because all of us were just like, decapitate. We all just... I mean, I just sort of mushed my Baymax into the curry, but both Soren and Doki Hu just pushed Baymax's head off. This was very cute. Poor Casper was having an existential crisis because they didn't want to eat Baymax. Oh, by the way, you hear me coughing in the background? Skylar got sick. And before you say anything delimited, no, I did not get sick on the plane. Thank you very much. Although I did wear masks and both of my masks broke. Which was frustrating. No, I did not get sick on the plane. I was starting to feel off before I got on the plane. Like, maybe about 12 to 24 hours before, before we were due at the airport. I started feeling off. I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And by the time we hit Singapore, I definitely felt sick. Like, I had to go and buy some Strepsils or something. Like, I went and bought Strepsils, because I'm like, this is not good. So, the reason why you hear the occasional coughing from me is because I'm actually sick with something, but I think at this point, the runny nose had gone, and it was just a lingering cough that I had for the majority of the rest of the trip that I just could not shake. I did go to a pharmacy, and I walked in there, and I asked, hey, do you have something for a phlegmy cough? Because this felt like a phlegmy cough. And they showed me something, and I started taking the medicines, and they just worked. Like, whilst I was taking those medicines, the cough was significantly reduced. Whilst I was under the effect of that medicine. But, like, if I missed a dose, you could start hearing the cough. If I didn't have any of them, you would start hearing the cough. And I think I've still got, like, some sort of bug in me now. Like, there's still a bit of a lingering cough. It's not terrible, but it is still, like, there. So I think it's in my chest. I think whatever I had moved very quickly into my chest. So... One thing that we also did with Tokyo Disneyland was we also bought a whole slew of fast passes. Not too many, but we bought a decent amount of them, and they also had like a little anniversary event, so we got a free fast pass every 2 hours. So, for certain rides. So we were just using up as many, we were just using fast passes to get on the rides, because otherwise you're waiting like 100 minutes. I know it's a bit late, so the park's probably closed, but let me see if I can see the wait times on some of these. I have the app on my phone. This was something that I wanted to show you guys, but I can't, unfortunately. Because I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get it to mirror on my PC, so I couldn't show you. Cinderella's Fairy Tale Hall. I think the park might actually be closed. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. I can't give you I can't tell you, like, the wait times, because the park is actually closed. But, oh my goodness, some of these wait times were ridiculous. You're looking at, like, 100 minutes, 120 minutes. Insane ride times to get on a ride. Lighting Bolt, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. This is the Mark Twain boat. Well, that's a model of it. And this is on the boat itself. This is inside the waiting area for the Monsters Inc. ride, so this is where Roz would... This is where Roz should be sitting, except it's reception closed. But Roz is actually at the end of the ride, and they make comments on what you're wearing if you're wearing something from another character. I think poor Casper got picked out because they were wearing Baymax stuff. I don't think anyone really understood what Roz was saying, aside from Doki who said that they definitely said something. This was on... There's like a little... I think it's called Tom Sawyer Island that you can go to via these little boats. So you can't get there from the Mark Twain. You have to get there otherwise. Like on another little boat. Oh look, more coughing. Surprisingly, there wasn't much to really see or do on Tom Sawyer Island. It's just sort of there. I think it's more like for the kids to like play around on and run around and go on like a little mini adventure sort of thing. But there wasn't really a whole lot there to see. Shouldn't be near steam trains so much if they make him cough. Not sure what this was exactly. And then there's like a little creek. Again, this is still on Tom Sawyer Island. Very cool rock formations. This was a show. I can't remember what it was called. This was one where, I'm pretty sure this was the one where it's Mickey Mouse and he's controlling an orchestra, and he puts the sorcerer's hat down for a second, and Donald grabs the sorcerer's hat and gets up to all sorts of weird and wonderful shenanigans with a bunch of Disney IP. Or it's the other one that we saw, which was a one with Mickey, Donald, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Donald. And they, again, visit a bunch of different Disney IPs, but they go through like a weird magic mirror / portal. And it just goes through like all of these different Disney IPs, including Zootopia, which was quite cool. It's all in Japanese, so I didn't like understand what the characters were saying, which was a bit unfortunate, but I got the general gist of both shows. We also said goodbye to Baymax, because this was our second and last day at Disneyland. Well, Tokyo Disneyland itself. And there was the castle. We also saw a parade. At least one. I'm pretty sure we saw a daytime parade and a nighttime parade. I've decided not to show them because copyright. Copyright music. This is from the Western River Railroad. They were calling Last Ride.
Talk about your feelings at work.
Oh, shut up, Ad. They were calling for Last Ride. So we went on the last train. Yeah, you can tell I'm coughing. And don't forget too, it's also starting to get cold at this time of night.
したんですよ。彼らはとても親しみやすくて、ここを訪れればいつだって温かく迎えてくれます。
Yeah, good luck seeing anything here, Skylar. Great idea to take a photo in the middle of the night. We'll take a video in the middle of the night. But hey, on the plus side, you got to see the Disney Castle lighting up. So they show like a bunch of, well, that's a terrible shot to pause on. So they light up the castle and show a bunch of like scenes from Disney films and very special scenes, and play music and launch fireworks into the sky. Just as the park is like winding down.
食事や音楽を楽しんだりしてるんですよ。
So that's the next day. So we'll pause it here, and I'll talk a little bit more about Disneyland. So Disneyland, we went on quite a few of the rides. I don't think we saw everything, but we did go on quite a few of the rides. We went on quite a few of the dark rides. So there was Peter Pan, there was Winnie the Pooh. I know those two skeletons. There was Winnie the Pooh, there was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, there was Beauty and the Beast. Some of them we got the Fast Pass for, which were typically inexpensive, but you have to pay for each unique ride, and you just pick a time slot that is available to you, and then you go there during that time slot, and you almost go straight on. Some rides were like $15, some rides were $20. I think one ride might have been $30, but that was the most we paid. And we did a few of them throughout the day, so... But yeah, I did those. I did the Roger Rabbit ride. I did the teacups. I did the carousel. I did... What other rides did I do? App. Let me open the app and explain or see what rides I did. Baymax Happy Ride, we did that twice. We did the Monsters Inc. ride, which you saw earlier. We did Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty. I think we did Sleeping Beauty. We did Star Tours at least 3 times, because the wait times were not, like, the wait times were very, very short. So we just did that multiple times. Yeah, we did Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast. The app's turning around on me. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's in Tokyo Disney Sea. That ride. Stop turning around on me. I know that the others did... we did the Western River Railroad. We did... I think we did Jungle Cruise? Question mark? I can't remember if that was down or not. Pirates of the Caribbean was the first ride everyone else went on. I was stupid and thought it was one of those swinging pirate boat rides, and I decided not to go on it. That was my fault, and I should have done a bit more research, because quickly, you're going to notice Skylar is a chicken. Also, I should probably put the music back on. You're going to notice that Skylar is a big fat chicken and does not go on rides. So, prepare to be disappointed. Skylar is not a thrill seeker. Country Bear Theater, we did that one. Yeah, so we actually did quite a few rides. Pretty sure we did Dumbo's Flying Adventure, or Dumbo the Flying Elephant. We did Snow White's Adventures, we did Peter Pan's Flight, or as we like to call it, Peter Pan's Screen-Based Adventure, because it was just heavily screen-based. Tom Sawyer Island Rafts, we did that. Splash Mountain was unfortunately down, so no one did that one. And I think Haunted Mansion was down as well, so we couldn't do that one. We did the Castle Carousel, we did Alice's Tea Party once per day. Oh, that's what it was called. The show was called Mickey's Philomagic. We did It's a Small World with Groot. However, when we were lining up on the queue, the ride went down. So we actually got turned around and told to leave. We were so close to getting on the ride, and then we were just told to get out. And we had to return back a little bit later on in the day. It was so funny. It's also called A Small World with Groot because they just have a bunch of Groot animatronics, like baby Groot animatronics, throughout the entire ride. So instead of It's a Small World, I was focused on playing Where's Groot? Because you just know he's there. There was Pinocchio's Daring Journey. That's one we did. Pooh's Honey Hunt, we did that one too. We did Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. And we also did Gadget's Go Coaster. That was the roller coaster that I did go on this trip, and it freaked me the fuck out. We got on the roller coaster, and like, as it's going up, I turned to Soren, who's sitting next to me, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? And then it went down, and I forgot to scream. I am not a thrill seeker. I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you why. I just don't like thriller rides, and that roller coaster was bad enough. I think that's also the most intense roller coaster I've ever been on, and it's a kiddie coaster, essentially. I mean, the only time I went on a roller coaster. Yeah. So yeah, we did do a lot of rides. And a little, like, we went into some of the shops and stuff like that. One thing that I also want to point out at this particular point in time, I'm not sure if Soren will like me for saying this very much, but Soren was similar to me. However, they had a different reason for not liking thriller rides. When they were a kid, at one point they went on a roller coaster, I think at Adventure World here in Perth, and they passed out on the roller coaster, and it freaked them out. So the first ride we did was the teacups, and Doki Hoo and Casper got on one teacup, and we're just like, yeah, okay, we're gonna do this. You two go over there on another teacup. So we sat on another teacup, and Soren and I were just like, we're not gonna be, like, they had that spinny dial thing in the middle, and Soren and I are just like, we're not going to be spinning this thing. We're just going to be, like, holding it and trying to keep it straight. And, like, the ride begins, and, you know, we're sort of, like, Soren and I are both kind of holding onto it, trying to keep it straight. We look over at Doki Hoo and Casper, and they are just reefing this thing as fast as it will fucking go. And so I was like, oh my goodness, they're going for it. And I'm like, yeah, they sure are. And eventually, like, about halfway through the ride, Soren's just like, should we try spinning this? And I'm like, yeah, okay. So we spun it a little bit, not too much. On the second day, we spun it a bit faster. But yeah, then we ended up on the Gadget Go Coaster, and that actually helped. And what was really cool to see was Soren coming out of their shell and getting over that fear. During this entire trip, Soren went from being afraid of thriller rides and especially roller coasters to basically becoming an adrenaline junkie. They started loving it. And it was, honestly, it was such a cool transformation to see that. To see someone overcoming their fears. I kind of wish that it happened to me, but unfortunately, we went on the Gadget Go Coaster, and I was like, yep, that's my limit. I'm done. I'm out of here. So, but yeah, it was, honestly, it was very wholesome to see, like, just someone have that transformation, going from something that they're borderline fearful of, and then just finding out that they actually really enjoy it. It was very cool. Alright, so this is our break day. So we took a break day, so we went to Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland on... Yeah, my anxiety is eternal. No shrink has got me over that yet. So we went to Tokyo Disneyland on Tuesday, Wednesday, then we had a break day on Thursday, and then we went back on Friday. So we had like we went to Tokyo Disney Sea on Friday. So we had a little break in the middle of it. In the meantime, we found Fangamer. Which, yeah, that's cool. The Deltarune collection, Undertale stuff. There's a wall of like people who visited, like all of the people who visited Fangamer and drawn artwork and such, which was really cool. And Toby Fox just signed it. He didn't draw nothing. He just signed it and left it completely blank. And it's the funniest shit. It was so funny. Like, everyone else has drawn something, and then you've got Toby. Who just signed it and called it a day. This is a secondhand toy store that was nearby. Digimon, hello. Unfortunately, these prices are ridiculous. 104,500 yen. The kind of thing I do. Like, these were just ridiculous, and I was like, this is cool. Also, these prices are ridiculous. I'm walking away now. The detector down here is 15,000 yen. That's 150 bucks there. Like, ugh. I wanted these so badly. I wanted these specifically, but no, I wasn't allowed because they were too expensive. I should have picked up you though. You were 20 bucks. I am so disappointed. I should have grabbed you. Well, Skylar, I'm glad you didn't give in to consumerism. Yeah, surprisingly, Delimited, I didn't buy very much whilst I was at, Tokyo Disneyland. Like, I bought almost... Actually, no, I don't think I bought any merch. I almost bought a few hoodies, but, again, because of the amount of Plurail that I'd already bought at this point in time, I was deeply concerned on how I was going to get things back home. So, I didn't buy any more. You can also see that I've got my backpack on the front of me, and that's because the store that we were in, the aisles were extremely thin. Like, you could squeeze maybe one person in there. But yeah, there's just a ton of Digimon virtual pets, but they were all so stupidly expensive. I think that's a color actually in the background there. Yeah, it looks like a color. 250 yen. I'm so disappointed though. I should have bought you. Should have bought that Veemon plushie. Oh well. Some Star Wars statues from another store. And we're at Tokyo Disney Sea. That's Pocahontas in the rock formation. Tokyo Disney Sea, we spent the full day there, but we all agreed we should have spent 2 days there because the theming of the park was just so good. Honestly, the theming of the park was better than Tokyo Disneyland. Giant skull rock and a pirate ship. This was just so good. And then you have Sorcerer Mickey. So like the waves just like wash up and the little pots, the broomsticks over here pour out the water as well. It's just so good. There's Ariel. I got a really good shot. Okay, maybe that wasn't as good as I thought. The face is covered up in the splash. The giant splash from the back comes up and covers the rock. Not sure what this is themed around, but this was very cool regardless of what it was. C-3PO's only appearance at Disney Sea. There was a volcano here. That did spew, smoke at a couple of times during the day. There's the Nautilus. The 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Visit totalair.com.au.
Shut up. Says the Columbia in the background there. There's another pirate ship. You could actually walk onto this one. Don't think you could do that with the other one. This area was so big. Nope, I have no idea where that is, which restaurant we went to, but I got like a little meatball and pasta thing. This was also very small, by the way. This was not very filling at all. There's like 3 meatballs on that. Cool building. Also, the cherry blossoms on the tree on this tree here were starting to come out. We weren't there for cherry blossom season, but every now and then we'd find a tree like this, which was just starting to sprout the cherry blossoms. Yeah, I have no idea what this contraption is, but you can hear Soren and Doki-Hoo talking in the background about it. This was also cool, a little water fountain from the mountains to the metropolis, New York City Waterworks. Water is worth more than gold to a thirsty populace. A city parched fails, a city quenched prospers. Says the Columbia a bit closer for you. That's a restaurant, I believe, by the way. That's actually the ocean. Not this, that. Found Bambi. There he is. Very cute. Like I said, the theming in this place was ridiculous. There's Rapunzel's tower. Or whatever the... I'm assuming it's still Rapunzel and Tangled. But this was Tangled. This is inside the Tangled ride. I had to stop and think then, but no, it's inside the Tangled ride. This was really cool. Alright, time for lunch, I think. This is lunch. Actually, no, this might be dinner. I had a hamburger of some kind. That looks like Spam. This looks like a slab of Spam on the burger. There's a mountain in the background. I think that one also spews flames or smoke. Not sure though. This was down somewhere. Very accurate description, Skylar. Thank you. Also, my music is back to playing again, and I should probably activate the music again. There we go. Sorry. I'm sort of like half blitzing through these because unfortunately I do have to take Dad to the airport tomorrow, and I'm running on fumes, man. Like, I should not have gone to work for at least a couple of days. I'm exhausted. I did not sleep very well on the weekend either. Like, we flew in at, like I said, just after midnight. Didn't get to bed until... I stayed up talking with my sister until like 2 o'clock in the morning. Didn't get to bed until 2:30. And then woke up at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock the next morning. And then went to bed much later than I expected to because I wanted to go to bed like really early. I ended up going to bed at my usual bedtime of like 11:30, 12 o'clock. And then woke up at about 9 o'clock to jump on VR chat with my friends. Yeah, there you go. There's like a little bit of smoke there coming up from the mountains. Tried to catch it and then it stopped. I think those photos were actually taken over there at the Skull Rock, and now we're on the pirate ship itself. You can fire the cannons and stuff like that. It's... Sorry. Fire the cannon! There we go. Now I'm happy. That's a little blurry. This place looks so good at night. There's Tower of Terror, by the way. Everyone else did that one. I didn't do that one. This is the line for soaring, or the queue for soaring. Honestly, this ride is not worth the wait time that it gets. The theming was cool. The ride itself was pretty good. But honestly, it left a little bit to be desired and is certainly not worth the, like, what was it? At least 100-minute wait time. It's super popular, but I don't know why. This was cool. I also managed to catch this globe at Disney Sea spinning around at just the right time. Hi, Australia! This is as we were leaving the park, though. I also had like a little chocolate ice cream thing on that day. So that's what this is. This was good, but I did not like the little jellies that were inside of it. There was like little jelly candy things. I did not like them. So this is the next day. I went to a shopping center for a little bit more of a look around. I found a giant Glaceon balloon animal, which is hilarious. The day, that was the only photo that I took that day because it was a rest day, so we were just resting. The day after that, well actually that night, was when Jiag and Desert joined us. So they were finally joining us, but this was like for the last 3 days in Tokyo. So the next day, I got to see snow. for the first time in my life, I saw snow. And I can't remember what we were going to do for the day, and maybe the photos will reveal what we were doing for the day. But for the morning, we're just like, you know what? We're gonna go out and we're gonna frolic in the snow for a bit. This was so cool, if you'll pardon the pun, to see. I've never seen snow before. And it was a light enough snowfall where it didn't seem like it was going to be a hindrance, but you could still, like, grab a pile of snow, make a snowball. We were throwing snowballs like mad at each other. I think... Yeah, over here we made a very, like, little snowman. And then we made a better one. Soren was pushing around a giant snowball and then made like a miniature snow, like this is tiny snowman, and then we made like a miniature snowman. I also started, like, after that was built, I started rolling around a giant snowball. I wanted to see how big I could make it, and I just started rolling. I also learned how hard it is to move snow. I made my snowball bigger than that, I'm pretty sure. Or it was either around the same size as this bottom snowball here, or even bigger. And then I'm like, oh boy, what do I do with this? And I was like walking around with it, my gloves were starting to get soaked. And I turned to Jag and I'm like, hey, hey, check out my giant snowball. And Jag, like, takes it from me and, like, stares at it for a minute. And then realizes Soren's back is turned. Jag, no, don't throw my... Pow! And it just broke. The funny thing was, the snow was actually solid enough where when you throw a snowball at someone, it wasn't just completely breaking apart, it was breaking into bits. So my giant snowball shattered into bits. I felt so bad for poor Soren being attacked like that. That was uncalled for. But Jag turned around to me and was just like, I'm so sorry, Skylar, but that was the perfect opportunity. And Soren immediately turns around and is just like, who threw that? And I'm like, that was Jag. It was my snowball, but Jag threw it. And Soren just like picks up a chunk of the snowball and ditches it at Jag. So funny. Did not jump into a pile of snow first thing like that one Fox gif. Unfortunately not. The snow was not actually that deep. You can kind of see here. It's kind of like just a top layer. So it wasn't very deep at all. That was a Gashapon. Spoiler alert, I got one of these. I thought these were very cute, so I ended up getting one. I wanted to sit it on my desk. It's not currently sitting on my desk, it's in the box of things that I have to show you tomorrow. This was a cute little Mickey plush toy in another Disney store. This was very cool. That is very, very nice. I'm a huge sucker for Sorcerer Mickey, or Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey, so seeing him around is very, very cool. There's also, I think this is quite popular, there's a giant cat stuck in a screen here. Again, the photos don't quite do it justice, but the cat was like pushing the toys off and all that sort of stuff. Oh, okay, this is this day. So the same day that it snowed, I dragged everyone somewhere that is special to me. This is all that build born when she was there earlier in the year. Oh, nice. The Kibi board, yeah. I dragged everyone to somewhere that I wanted to go. This was like the one thing that I wanted to do in Tokyo for absolute certain. Why? Well, you're about to find out. This is a park, and it's a bit of a distance away from, like, where we were. So, it was quite a bit of a walk. No one, like, I think a couple of people were complaining about the distance, but, like, when we got there, the attitude changed a bit. It was also very pretty in the snow, and you might recognize this. And if you don't, you might recognize it now. This was one thing that I got my Gilmon finger puppet out for. This is what inspired Gilmon's house, or Gilmon's area, in Digimon Tamers, which is the anime, the third season of Digimon. This is where Takato has to keep Gilmon, because they live in an apartment, and the apartment is strictly no pets allowed. Additionally, Gilmon is bigger than your average rookie. So they have to so Takato and Henry work together and find a place to keep Gilmon. This is where they keep him. They close the gate, and Gilmon stays in here. Out of sight from everyone. The park isn't very popular, so they decide to keep him here. I had to take photos of Gilmon here. He's a little blurry, but he's there. I wanted to bring my, I did actually bring my Gilmon plush toy. However, as I was packing him, I noticed that one of his teeth were falling off, so I put him inside a plastic bag to try to keep him safe, and then ended up not taking him anywhere for the rest of the trip, because we didn't have a point where we could fix him, where I'd need like super glue or something like that to put the tooth back on. So unfortunately he stayed in the plastic bag for the rest of the trip and did not come out. So I had to make do with the finger puppet instead. Gilmon prison. I took a bunch of photos here. And then Casper decided to dump snow on him. Which was quite funny. But yeah, it was so cool seeing that. Oh, I don't have any photos of the shrine. So right next to Gilmon's house, there's also a shrine. And I mean like, it's 10 paces to the right of this photo. So, this way. You walk that way, 10 paces, you're at a shrine. We did walk around a little bit at that shrine. That was the only shrine that I ended up visiting during my entire stay, unfortunately. Also, ironically enough, this song is called Snow Day. From Hyper Potions. A bunch of Yoshi figures. These are like little buildable molds. Every color of Yoshi is here aside from green, which looks like they might be sold out, and brown, of course, because no one remembers brown Yoshi. And there's all the, well, some of the figures there. Finally saw a Piranha Plant webcam. It's small as shit, and I hate it. They're not very good webcams. There's a Rock Pikmin plush toy because one of my friends wanted a Rock Pikmin. I did not end up getting this. Again, I was too stressed out because of my luggage situation. Which, haha, we'll talk about more tomorrow. This is not a Plurail layout. This is a photo of a Plurail layout. But look at how crazy you can get. Ah! This is just ridiculous. And then it just expands over here as well. Like, this is just insane. Also, yeah, in case you couldn't guess, we're at another shopping mall. Bunch of GameCube games. You got Smash Brothers, you got Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime 2 by the looks of it. Star Fox Assault. Still need to get and play. Mario Kart Double Dash, Pikmin 2, Kirby Air Ride, Sonic Adventure 2, Super Mario Sunshine. Cousin, I have bad news. Oh no. What's happened? What's wrong, cousin? These are all the boxed Pokemon games. Look at these fucking prices, man. $165, $220, $352 for a boxed copy of Pokemon Blue. Friend V, hi. Weird Spider's taken back to his trail. Oh my word! Hi everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome on in. Welcome to my little stream. We're doing a recap. Well, we're actually going to be doing that kind of all week. See, the news has arrived. Cute Narb? No. No, not cute. Hi everyone, welcome on in. Thank you so much for the... Oh my goodness, what am I doing? There we go. Thank you, friend V, for the raid. I very muchly appreciate it. Welcome on in, folks. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Skylar Stardrift. I'm usually a variety streamer. However, I've been away for a month. And my Spotify is playing ads. I've been away for a month because I went with some friends to Japan. I flew out on the 26th of January, and I only just came back on the 21st of the 21st of February. So I've not been back long at all. But I wanted to do basically an entire, well, not necessarily an entire week, but like the next few days of streams from me are just going to be recapping and going over everything that I did on the Japan trip. We're actually almost at the end of the Tokyo stay, where we stayed for the majority of the trip. This was like the first week and a half to 2 weeks. You did just miss Disneyland a little bit, and Disney Sea, which I also didn't talk about the rides that we did at Disney Sea. Hang on. Hang on, now I gotta bring that up. We're also staring at a bunch of retro Pokemon games that are very, very, very expensive. Nope, I just closed the app. Sorry, I'm bringing up the Disneyland app. But hi, hello. Let's see here. Hello, Dragon. Hello, Cousin D. Hi, Kaiser. I think that's how I pronounce your name. I do apologize if I'm botching anyone's name. Please feel free to correct me. I'm terrible with pronouncing names. Hi, Rook Nightpaw. Hello, everyone. Oh, that's so cool. Hope you had fun. I did. Alright, Tokyo Disney Sea. What rides were there? There was Journey to the Center of the Earth. I didn't do that one. Rough. Because I was too scared. I mentioned before that I was very, I don't like thrill rides, so I didn't do Journey to the Center of the Earth. And I'm glad that I didn't, because every so often, like when my friends went all to do a ride, I would just be like, hey, is that a Skylar safe ride? And I think the term, like, kind of stuck by accident. I think it was actually Soren who coined it. Like, Soren came out of one ride, and I can't remember which one it was, and was just like, yeah, that was not a Skylar safe ride. And then that was just the theme of it, was just is this a Skylar safe ride? Is this not a Skylar safe ride? And it was just constant. So it was very, very funny. Japan is definitely going to happen on my WND2 sometime. Yeah, definitely do it if you can. If you want to go to Japan, go. Honestly. I'm happy to see you back here in the land of spiders. I don't, like, it's not the spiders, it's the fucking heat. I'm so glad that I avoided an entire month of heat. There was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That was one that I did do. That's like a little submarine ride, except it's like a faux pas submarine ride. We didn't do Nemo and Friends. The ride was too long. We did Aquatopia, which is like a water, like a, whatchamacallit? It's like a water surface ride that spins you around a bit. Hi Monzi, welcome on in. Big City Vehicles, we didn't do that one. The Tower of Terror, everyone else did that one. I didn't do that one. Turtle Talk, we didn't do that because it would have been in Japanese. We didn't actually do Toy Story Mania either. We didn't do the Venetian gondolas. I think it was definitely talked about, but we didn't do them. What else is around here? We did Soaring, but like I said, it left a lot to be it left a lot, and I mean a lot, to be desired. It's not worth the wait times. Newest thing on things on Earth. Heat and spiders. Yep. Mm-hmm. No. That's the steamer line. The Leonardo Challenge, never even saw that. Fortress Explorations, we never saw that either. Scuttle Scooters, I ended up not going on that one. Physical and digital Pokemon games are so pricey, I hate it. Yeah! Look at these, man. They're ridiculous. I'm sorry that I paused on this. I forgot to go over Disney Sea rides. I did not do Scuttle Scooters. And it was probably for the best that I didn't. It turned out to be a little bit more intense than we all expected. Ariel's Playground, the Whirlpool, I think that's just like a kiddie area. Jumpin' Jellyfish, Blowfish Balloon Race, Mermaid Lagoon Theater. Flounder's Flying Fish Coaster, everyone else did that one, and I got like a little video recording. Caravan Carousel, we didn't do that one. The Magic Lamp Theater, we didn't do. Yeah, like, there was definitely a lot here at Disney's. We did Sinbad Storybook Voyage, that was cool. There was definitely a lot that we didn't do at Tokyo Disney Sea, and we all came up with the agreement that we should have gone for 2 days rather than one. We thought we could do it all in one day. No, we should have taken 2 days at Tokyo Disney Sea. The Raging Spirits was down at the time. Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure, so there are 2 Peter Pan rides. So that answers that question, Spyro, if you're watching the VOD. Rapunzel's Lantern Festival, I think we did that one, if I remember correctly. Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies, we didn't do that one. We did Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey, which was interesting. Because at one point, they do the, they sing Let It Go, right? And then the door closes, and you start going up a hill. And I don't like thriller rides, and we start going up, and Soren just turns around, looks at me, and is just like, I'm so sorry, Skylar, I didn't know this was gonna happen. And I'm like, I guess it's fine, like, I'm here now, what am I gonna do? Get off the ride? No, I'm here now. Luckily, it wasn't too much of a drop. Except at one point you get turned around. Like, you go up a hill. I think this was Like, there was that first dip, and then during the Let It Go song, you get turned around, and you go down backwards, and it's horrifying, because you can't see it coming, and just all of a sudden, oh fuck. Oh dear. So that freaked me out a bit. But luckily, like I said, it wasn't too bad of a drop. It wasn't the biggest drop that I ended up doing. That's later. But yeah. We did Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure. I'm pretty sure. So yeah. Anyway, this is a couple of days after Disneyland, and I've just seen snow for the first time too. This is Sylvanian Families, but for some reason there's a mech here, and I don't know why. This is not the vibe of Sylvanian Families. Sylvanian Families is like an anthropomorphic doll thing. I've seen them quite a bit, and we used to sell them at the hobby store that I used to work at, but they are very big in Japan, much bigger than they are here. I found Splatoon CDs at that store. If I told you this was my first Starbucks experience, what would you tell me? Because this is my first Starbucks experience. I got a chocolate chunk cookie. I was happy. Cousin D, I had a cookie. I had cookie. I think this was like some sort of chicken teriyaki roll. And I also had like a chocolate milk tea. Everywhere that I went in Tokyo at least, and I think some places in Osaka and Kyoto had this new flavor called like a sweet chocolate milk drink, and this was really good. So everywhere I was getting that. So you still have more Starbucks experience than me. The food was okay. Like, it was definitely edible, and it was good. Again, went to Japan, ate Starbucks. Yeah, all the Narbs in here. These were really cool. Pokemon-themed Game Boy Advances. There's like a green one for Celebi, and a gold one over here with Pikachu, Pichu, and a little Charizard on the screen. Also very expensive. Very, very, very expensive. I also found one of these things. A Pokemon Mini. Which is really cool. Glad to see that. Found the Yoshi Story soundtrack, you know, to go with the box copy of Yoshi Story that I saw earlier. Just a casual 57,000 yen. Let me see. I just want to see if I've got my things right. Yeah, just a casual $520 for a CD. You know. Do I even want to look up what the... Hang on. How much were these? Oh boy. Let's go with the Celebi one, because that was more expensive. 132,000. That is $1,204 for a Game Boy Advance. Japanese government, these keeps going, those prices will be much cheaper in the future. I will say though, food was extremely cheap. Let's also just remove 2 digits for a fast conversion. Yeah, that's basically what we were doing as well. Like, when I get to these bigger numbers, I don't quite know, and I get a bit confused, but when it's like the smaller stuff, then I understand. So, like, for example, that's $27. Also, that's just the most cursed thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. What are you? Who made you and why? Oh, okay. Shinkansen time? I think it's Shinkansen time. Mikio. We are now on our way to Kyoto. So this was on... Yeah, this was on the 10th of February. We were in Kyoto for just 3 days. Also Mario from Wish.com. We were in Kyoto for 3 days, so including the day of travel to get there, and then we left on the 12th. So we are now on the Shinkansen. I only knew the conversion rate between yen and euro, but that used to be 1 euro for 100 yen about 20 years ago. Now it is at 180 yen per euro. I think this is when we started accelerating a bit, because we're now moving faster than the other train. What is the time? It's 10:40. Oof. I might have to take a rain check on the rest of these photos, I'm not sure. America cash to euro is about $2, 1 equals 1, whatever now too. The one thing that I was disappointed on with the Shinkansen was I was waiting for that sudden woof of acceleration, right? It just never hits. Like, I was sitting there waiting for it. Look, I mean, we are moving at a decent click here, right? I'm not sure exactly how fast we got, I couldn't tell you. But, like, I was waiting for just a sudden boof of acceleration. And it just never happened. It was just as gradual as a regular train, so I never really felt it. And I wasn't sure when we were moving at full speed. Shinkansen also is, by the way, the bullet train.
This is the Nozomi Super Express bound for Hakata. We will be stopping at Shin Yokohama, Nagoya, Kyoto, Shin Osaka, Shin Kobe, Okayama, Fukuyama.
At one point during the trip, I was disappointed from not crashing in his train. At one point during the trip too, by the way, I pulled out my Google Maps just to see how far we had traveled, and like, I was amazed at how far we were already away from Tokyo. We were like halfway to Kyoto in like maybe an hour or 2 hours, and you just look at the map and I'm like, holy shit. That was quick. There's a lot of videos, by the way, on the Shinkansen, so... Oh look, another Shinkansen going past. And remember what I said about that concrete jungle? It just doesn't end. Some of the places that we went past, like, I feel as though I would have loved to have had the chance to, like, walk around a little bit and explore a bit. Why can't my city look that nice? I know, right? Tokyo metropolitan area, it's massive. You missed it earlier, Dragon, but we were in Skytree, and I took a few photos there. Oh my goodness, it just stretches. It's... And like I said, oh, bad camera work. And like I said, when we were going from the airport to our place in Tokyo, I was just expecting at some point... Mount Fuji, by the way. And I turned the camera away from it. Trolled you all!
Installations, replacements, service and repairs, call Perth's most trusted in air. Don't sweat
The
pre-summer rush now. Call today.
Spotify is
944
playing a stupid ad again. But yeah, like the taxi from the airport to where we were staying was just, it's just all city. It's all city. This is where we started seeing like fields and stuff like that. But look at the size of these towns and villages, man. Like they're still huge. Oh, I did not realize these houses. I was too busy recording. These houses look very funny. Bro, are you cute? No, I'm not. Hi, Wolfie. Welcome on in. Nope. Not cute. Photo. I think you're cute. I mean, I'm not. That's Mount Fuji from another angle, too. Like, that's still Mount Fuji. We basically do, like, this really, really wide loop around it. Not very cute. No, you are. No. Not cute. That's what looks like a giant coffee factory. There's a better photo of Mount Fuji there. This is as close as we got to Mount Fuji, by the way. We did not get any closer than this. But yeah, like, even out here, there's still a bunch of houses and apartments and buildings and such, you know? It's just insane. Oh, Charles, did you, now I'll prove that you're cute. Oh, sorry, Charzu. I know exactly what you're showing, though, and I wonder if I should permit you, but, you know. The weirdest thing is the city of Tokyo is relatively small and contains about 9 million citizens. Most of the metropolitan area are other cities that have merged. Yeah. It's kind of what it feels like. I'd believe that. It's things like Shibuya and I know that there's a few other things as well. Folks, just a reminder, you need to ask for permission to send a link. And unfortunately, I haven't fixed it, so that is holding true for the Twitch clips as well. So I apologize for that. Wolfie... There you are. Sorry about that. Also, this video just constantly is restarting now. I might also check to see where we're up to and how many photos we've got. Here, like I said, you're cute. Nope. Go on's here. Go on's here for some photos. It's weird that the Twitch domain is blocked in the first place. Yeah, it is a little bit. But to be fair, I blocked all links. Yeah, like I said, I took a lot of videos and photos on the Shinkansen. A lot. We can talk about Coco. This is Coco Curry House. This may look a little unappealing, but trust me, this was the best restaurant we visited in Japan. We loved it so much we went back there multiple fucking times. And there's plenty of different Coco restaurants around, so we were able to, like, just keep going. This was, I think, Hamburg steak curry with vegetables. They serve the correct amount of rice for the amount of curry sauce that you get, and you can actually get more curry sauce. You can get more rice. You can adjust this however you want. It's so customizable, it's not even funny. Like, you choose, like, say for example, you get a Hamburg steak. And then it asks you, okay, how much curry sauce you want? How much rice do you want? What's the level of curry spiciness that you want? I didn't get spicy because I don't like spicy food. Like, I like a little bit of spice, but not too much. And then it asks you, okay, do you want more? So, like, you can get a Hamburg curry, and then you can put the pork katsu on top of it, and the minced meat on top of it, and you can get some vegetables and put them on it. Like, you can just go absolutely fucking insane. This was so good. I cannot tell you how good forget Mossburger. Like, I'm actually surprised that I didn't take as many photos of Mossburger because we ate so much of it. But, like, especially in Tokyo. But, like, holy shit. I could have eaten this. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said, you know, when I mentioned Mossburger and, like, we had so much of it and I didn't, like, it was fine, but we had so much of it that I started to get tired of it. I could eat this for a month and not get bored. Like, this was just so good. You have no idea. Please open a restaurant here in Perth. Please, I beg of you. Your mission is to bring curry to the world. I saw your pamphlet. I checked where the locations are around the world. There's none here in Australia, but please, my goodness, bring this to Australia. Also, this was probably the biggest serving of food that we had during the entire trip, to be honest. It also seems as though I definitely failed my mission of taking photos of everything that I ate, because I thought I took some photos of some of the microwave meals that I bought from 7-Eleven and Lawson's, but it looks like I didn't take any photos of them. There might be one or two later, because I had like one or two in Osaka, but unfortunately it doesn't seem as though those photos saved on my phone or anything, which is a little disappointing. Because I'm fairly positive that I took a few photos of them. We ate I had quite a few of those in Tokyo. Of course, now we're in Osaka, but like this was to die for. Holy crap, this was so good. Clip proof, you are cute and adorable, and there is a boob on your snoot. Nope. So some good old tasty curry. Oh, you have no idea. Sounds like a death trap for me. I would just put a lot of spicy stuff on my plate. So they do have a level of spiciness. You can go normal spice, but you can go up to like level 10 or something. But you can also go up to level 15. But you have to eat like the previous level of curry and prove that you can handle it before you can go to the next level. So like up until level 10 you can order what you want, but after that you have to eat level 10 curry to eat level 11, then eat level 11 to eat level 12, eat level 12 to eat level 13, and it goes up to level 15. I don't know how spicy it is. Like I said, I did not get any level of spice. Well, their mission was to bring value to the shareholders. Their mission is to fucking feed me. Because, oh, this was so good. Honestly, I go back to Japan just to eat this. Oh, that's a blurry photo that I thought I got rid of. This is now in Kyoto. Kyoto was very different to Tokyo, whereas Tokyo feels more modern and such. Kyoto kind of has this vibe where it feels like it's trapped in time. A weird sort of blend of modern and old, I suppose. I wouldn't say ancient, but like more sort of on the lines of retro, I suppose. Ha! Of course I said retro, and a retro game showed up. Took that photo for my friend. Donkey Kong Country 2 for $16, box copy. But yeah, like, you can just see it, like, there's modern buildings over here, but then right across the street, there's just old restaurants. Opened restaurant. What's this place for? What's this place's purpose? Feeding one singular door again. There's an old Nintendo, I think that's like a Nintendo plug-and-play of some kind. CTG BK6. Oh, this is in Hardoff. This is a store called Hardoff. Soren ended up buying a mini-disc player here. And it worked. Oh, look. Rocks. So this is a weird little rock cafe where everything is themed around rocks. So I had like a little bread bun, but I also had like I had like a winter special, which was lapis lazuli. So there's like ice cream and there's blueberries and these little jelly things. And there's like a little jelly crystal. They gave us like a little light that you could shine on the crystals as well, and it actually lights up the crystals. The cake was really nice. The ice cream, well, that was just ice cream. I'm not a big fan of jelly, so I didn't quite enjoy this. And I ended up leaving these and the, I'm assuming they're blueberries behind as well. Yeah, this is what I got. Blue Opera Cake Set. Our popular lapis lazuli opera. A simple yet elegant standard opera cake featuring rich white chocolate and coffee-flavored buttercream. Topped with our signature panna cotta adorned with crystal-like blue agar jelly served with vanilla ice cream and blueberries. I didn't get the herbal tea though. A lot of Japanese companies and government departments still use fax machines. Japan is a mix of 1980s and 2030s with nothing in between. Guess where we're going next? This was the main reason for us coming to Kyoto. The reason why it looks like the sun is setting is because it is. Our appointment for the Nintendo Museum was at 5:30 in the afternoon, and we stayed until closing. There's a Goomba on the ground. There's a coin on the ground. There's a Nintendo museum. Oh, hi, Soren. These toads all have, like, weird bobbleheads, by the way. Miyamoto was here in 2023. Oh, look, it's me! Oh, God, that's horrible. So they had a bunch of minigames. This was terrible, by the way. Beamia with a hydrate. Also, I think I missed the follow alert, so I apologize, Beamia, but thank you for the follow if I did miss that. Did you go to Gunma? The Subaru factory is there? No, I did not. The aim here is to hit as many of the balls as you can into things in the background. I did a terrible job. Mazda is in Hiroshima. Thanks, Jag, for the positive reinforcement there. I'm hitting them, but I'm not hitting anything else to increase my score. Hey, I hit something. There we go. Beam me up with the stretch. I can do that whilst this video is playing. Ugh. Thank you for stretchies. This is much harder than it looks, by the way. Unfortunately, that was really all I could kind of take in the Nintendo Museum. They have very strict policies on photos and videos, so that was all I was really able to take. Guess where we went for dinner? Right back to Coco. Like I said, I could eat Coco every day that I was in Japan. That was so fucking good. This time around, I got a hamburg steak. No, I got a minced meat curry with a pork katsu and a hamburg steak and vegetables. And the guy, the staff member who brought me my meal was just like, this, and puts it down, and I'm like, yep, that's mine. And he just says in English, very, very hungry. And honestly, I had skipped lunch because we went to the Rock Cafe. Oh yes, they're afraid you will pirate their museum and emulate it by showing the exhibits to people. Oh my god, I would eat the heck out of Cousin Ken. This is fucking good. This is so fucking good. There's a reason why we went back here the next day. 50 Shades of Brown. Hi, Quack Noah. Welcome on in. Would devour. This was Coco was so good. And I'm not talking about my dog. This was so good. It's also like a beef curry as well, so like you can choose between pork curry and beef curry, and you get like little bits of pork or beef inside it. I always got the beef. So there's beef, there's a hamburg steak, there's minced meat, and there's the katsu as well. So at the start of the presentation. So guess where we went? The next day, the day of travel, we went to the Kyoto Railway Museum because, as I mentioned earlier, we missed the Tokyo Railway Museum by accident. So we decided to go to the Kyoto Railway Museum instead. We weren't doing anything, and it was basically like travel time or travel day, and it would take like 20 minutes. Go back to the pond at the start. So, yeah, we went to the Kyoto Railway Museum, which is very cool. This is an old Shinkansen. Aiming for 200 kilometers an hour. That's like the nose cap. That's a Zero Series Shinkansen bogie. I think the Zero Series Shinkansen is the first Shinkansen made, maybe? I think. It's a cab signal device. I wonder what the odometer on that train is at. Also, you could sit inside the Shinkansen. Soren took some photos of me and themselves, and I think Doki Hu as well, driving like at the controls of the Shinkansen, which was very cool. Oh, they took some videos. I do have all of Soren's photos and videos, but I will not be showing them. Also, what is this music? Good lord. This is one that needs to go out of the playlist, I think. I just grabbed a bunch of stuff and threw it in the playlist. There's inside some coaches.
Frank, this is a safe space. What's on your mind?
Well, Frank, I don't care if this is a safe space. You can shut up, you stupid ad. I think this is like nearing the end of the photos as well. Once we get through the Railway Museum, there's not too many left. It was a Koipon and I said, hey, that's Vishnilla. Old steam engine. Large high-speed passenger steam locomotive used to pull the Limited Express, Tsubame and Hato. 6226. I love this little tank engine. This was very cute. Also, check it out. Look at all the plates. All the plates and numbers up here. That was cool. Also, this museum is 3 stories tall. You know, just casually. Oldest mass-produced Japanese-made Columbia-type tank locomotive. There's another Shinkansen. I am going to call a Raichu this. Raicho. Ah. Music's back. Yeah. This is also why I took a photo of this train. I'm just like, I'm gonna remember this and I'm gonna call my next Raichu Raicho. They also had a ton of interactive displays that you could activate by like waving your hand or pressing a button. Me just going, no way. Don't ask me what this is, I just waved my hand and activated it. Very old steam engine. This is a model of Rocket, or Stevenson's Rocket. It looks like a stationary steam engine. Locomotive number 1 and passenger cars. It was kind of cool actually seeing like a weird blend of like model trains and actual trains. Also, at the start of railways, some people took their footwear off before boarding the train. I thought that was just a really funny and cool piece of trivia. Oh dear, I can't imagine how that would have worked out. That would have been slightly horrifying. You would have left your shoes at the station. Oops. Some old photographs there. That's like the inside of a diesel rail car, I think. Or an electric rail car. Yeah, type electric locomotive. Junior official short sword from the era of Railway Bureau. There's a conductor uniform. Is it a conductor uniform? Junior official uniform from the era of Railway Bureau. There you go. This was well worth the price of admission, which was only like $15 or something. Hi Nexus, welcome on in. If railway officers were allowed to use short swords, we'd have more polite passengers. You're not wrong. .581 series electric car. There's another Shinkansen. This was cool. This was cool as fuck. So wait for it. 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 Just a bit more. Wait for it. We just walked under an engine. We got to see the undercarriage of an engine. How cool is that? That's the engine we just walked under. See there, you can't escape the head pats. And there's the controls. Driving or sitting sideways to the direction of motion. So they had like little cabs that you could sit down on and like move levers and press buttons and stuff. Standard diesel locomotive with a large engine. Showed you my undercarriage, please respond that train. Axle's transfer boxes were pretty cool. These were cool as well. So these are all like signals and... yeah, well, signals and... yeah, they're just called signals, aren't they? These were all activated, and you'll see it in a minute, by foot pedals. So like... you can hear me pressing some of the foot pedals around, right? Saying the news was yesterday, now we're sending undercarriage pictures. So you can just press, like, these foot pedals. Constant Sky, how are you not absolutely addicted to Factorio with the sheer amount of train things in the game? I've not actually played Factorio. And this is it, these are the foot pedals. And of course I forgot to scroll up when I was pressing them. And I kind of missed this as well. This was an actual boom gate that you could activate. Cractoria. This was also very cool. So check this out. This is like a tunnel boring system, right? And you can see the landscape there. But check this out. The model moves apart and shows you the tunnel underneath it. How awesome is that? Basically, yes. This is a snowplow. So there are two kinds of snowplows. So you've got this design, and then you've got the giant fan design at the front. This was inside a carriage. This was like a sleeper carriage. So the seats fold out into like a little bed. Doesn't look very comfortable though. Not at all. Railway vehicle that was the fastest in the world at that time, operating at 300 kilometers per hour. This is also a freight car control device. Hello, Soren. Have to go now. See you next time. Alright, catch you later, Dragon. Thank you for stopping by. I very muchly appreciate it. More undercarriage of another train that you could go under. There was also a place where you could go above a train. That was not very exciting. They also had a Plarail area. This is like a little Plarail display. This still looks cool. Like, this is simple, right? This is a fairly simple, easy enough display, right? This is still cool as fuck. It still goes really hard with like this cool little station in the background. This is... Plarail would solidify the end of model railways everywhere. I swear to God. I swear to goodness. Oh my god. This is all like the premium Plarails that you can get. They also had an entire kid area for just the kids where you could just... There's just like 3 tubs of Plarail stuff. And you could... The kids could just go wild, build whatever track they wanted, put the trains on it, like, just go absolutely nuts. This is all the Transformer... Like, they're not really Transformers, they're like weird sort of battle bots of some kind. But they all transform into Plarail models. Meanwhile, the Downer EDI B series EMUs we use here ran out of go at about 140 kilometers per hour with the speed limiter removed. So every single one of these you can actually transform into a Plarail model. And of course I took a photo of the Thomas models that they had on display. So you got Thomas, Edward. Oh, these are all the these are the good models before they change... Well, okay. So they've got the good model of Edward. They didn't quite get the good model of Henry. And I can't tell Gordon or James. There were two... There are currently... There's a new version of Edward where he has Henry's... Almost like Henry's running board and base. And it just looks very weird. This is much better where he's got the actual 2 working wheels. Gordon, James, Percy, Hero, Rebecca, Diesel 10, Spencer, Toby. I can't remember what your name is because I've not seen the episode that you're from. You've got Emily, you've got Busy Bee, well, Stung by a Bee James. You've got Percy and Rocky. Flynn, you've got Streamline Thomas, Shooting Star Gordon, Nia, a Thomas with some troublesome trucks instead, but can you transform Squidbit into a train model? I mean, you could probably try. That's the 80th anniversary Thomas Plarail, which I think I might have showed off on stream at some point. I'm not sure, I can't remember. I do have this though. There's also another Celebration Thomas there, which came with all that rolling stock as well. I think that was... Yeah, that's also for the 80th. This is up above that JR500 Shinkansen that we saw earlier. Okay, so this is outside the Railway Museum. We're still technically inside the Railway Museum, but this is now outside the building. It's just a giant fucking rail yard. How are we looking at for time? Oh my goodness, it's 11:18 and I do have to take Dad to the airport tomorrow. I'm not sure. Kind of want to just get through the Kyoto Railway Museum and then check to see how much more we have to go through. I'm trying to, like, speed this up a little bit, so I apologize there. But I do want to get through this tonight, if I can help it. But yeah, there's just railways going every which way. This Zell transformed to Nard. We can turn you into a living train. Nah, I think I'm good as a Narb. I think I'm good as a Narb. I'm happy as a Narb. But like, that's a train track there. There's a train track going under there. There's all this going under here. Yeah, I'm sure. And there's a working steam locomotive coming towards us now. But there was also a Shinkansen coming past, so I had to grab the Shinkansen. The steam locomotive was still a while away, so I've got to be honest, I didn't see this when we were coming in on the Shinkansen. I would have loved to have seen this, but I didn't see it. Like, just this whole railway yard. This is just crazy. I wonder how many different train lines are actually going through here. Because it feels like there's a ridiculous amount of them. There was another train in the background. This was also cool, just seeing this train coming past with a single coach, heading somewhere. Wonder where you were heading. This steam train was also part of the railway museum itself, so like you could get like little steam train rides. We unfortunately didn't do that. I think this was like the second last ride of the day by this point. This is one thing that I didn't think I would get to see, is a working steam locomotive. But sure enough, there was one, which was really cool. So there's like some stairs leading down now, so... Hi Blue, welcome on in. So that's that steam train from before, by the way. That we just saw working. Roundhouse. I have finally seen an actual roundhouse. Not just any roundhouse, a roundhouse full of steam locomotives. This was really cool to see, and yes, those are people down there, and yes, you could walk down there. I've never seen or been to an actual roundhouse before. This was insane. I also want to point out too, so around here, like where all these wheels are, which is different kinds of trains and rolling stock wheels, down this pathway here, that's where the exit of the museum is. So it actually takes you behind the roundhouse. So there's a close-up of that steam train that we saw before. I love the design of this little tank engine. So I decided to do like a little walk around the roundhouse as a video. How cool is this? That's a very cool steam engine here. There's just a random coach here. And then in here is like, this area of the roundhouse is like a workshop, so they're actually working on the engines right now. Like, these guys are doing something with this steam engine. And I think at one point they like lifted up a set of wheels. You'll become important later. So then I took a front-facing photo of all of the different engines. I also wanted a side view of this one. This one just looks really cool. You'll become important later. Remember this one. I also found these very strange. Like, these essentially buffers, I suppose, but they're not really buffers. But, like, the ends of the rail here, they just go straight up. Rather than ending kind of more like that, they just have this weird curve. I thought that was strange. There's another close-up of that steam engine, by the way, that was running. This is also like a giant coal shovel area. And there's a, like, mini model of a... I'm not sure if that's the same roundhouse, like, back in the day, or if it is a different roundhouse, but... There was, like, a little model train. Don't think it was actually working. So this is a cool bit of trivia, too. To haul a steam locomotive, a D51 in this case, for a distance of 1 kilometer... about 40 kilograms of coal was required. Since an assistant engineer could charge about 2 kilograms of coal with an Usaku large shovel, 20 shoveling motions were necessary for a distance of 1 kilometer. This means that about 200 motions were required for a 10-kilometer run, and for a 100-kilometer run, about 2,000 were necessary. That is ridiculous. I could not be a fireman. Coal shoveling practice machine. pocket watch, a sign light, check light, tablet carrier. Hey, look! The Oyagawa Thomas visited the Kyoto Railway Museum at some point. Not sure when, though. I'm admitting to noodle arms. And there's another little Plurale set. So, of course, I took a photo. And the mini-sized Thomas the Tank Engine is not for sale. Hey, look! More Starbucks. This time around, I got some tortillas. And another cookie. These tortillas were very nice, by the way. There's, what is that? A chicken and cheese and a something and curry. That was basically lunch. And then dinner time, we went to a vegan restaurant. As I mentioned before, Soren's a vegan. However, they were also... Oh, what was the word Soren used to describe them? There's another level of vegan. They don't use onions, and they don't use garlic or other spices. And Soren kind of apologized to us and was just like, yeah, that's what makes the food taste good. So, what I had here was a okonomiyaki, and I thought this was good. Lots of cabbage, though. I wasn't quite used to that level of cabbage. The sauce was nice. Masochist? No, that's not it. Definitely not. It was good, but yeah, it wasn't great. And Soren was just like, look, I kind of probably wouldn't eat there again. Like, I've been there once. Like, I didn't seem that they liked to eat there. So they're just like, look, we went there once. No, don't think I'll ever go there again. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. I feel like I might have had the best meal there, though. In a weird sort of way. This was, so this is what I was talking about with the microwave meals. I have no idea what this was. It just looked good, and I picked it up from a grocery store. Not a 7-Eleven. So 7-Eleven and Lawson's are basically like little convenience stores, and they have these meals there. The meals are like $4 or $5 each. Like, they're really cheap. And you just microwave them. You go home, you microwave them. We had quite a few of, like, not quite a few of these, but we definitely had a few of them. So, that was one that I had. That was also like a curry bread. I only know about vegetarian, pescatarian, and vegan, so how can you be even more picky? I don't think it was... I feel like it was pescatarian, but I don't think that was quite right. So, I'm not sure. I might have to ask Soren. This was like a little curry bread, so it's got curry inside of the bread. This was very good. Casper suggested this one to me, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll give it a go. And sure enough, I really liked it. Cinnamon donut of some kind. A Baymax Gashapon. I took a photo of this because this is just a bunch of cool stuff. Like, there's a Switch GameCube controller adapter here. There's a AC thing. There's also all of the, like, AV cables for old Nintendo systems. A Type-C, Micro-B, USB, 3DS, 2DS charger. Like, this was just cool. I had, like, a little... pescatarian, it's like vegetarians, but you still eat... Ah, okay, yeah, so no. I thought it started with a P, though. Alright, so... I believe now we are... Yeah, okay, so this was in Osaka. So we are now at Osaka. I'm not sure about this place. But we are now at Osaka. Actually, no, we would have been in Osaka for this place, yeah. So we are now in Osaka. I recognize the table. So I think on like the second day in Osaka, I went out on a little adventure of my own. Everyone seemed to be doing their own thing. Casper really needed a rest. Dokihu went to do their own thing. Soren went to do like a walk around some temples. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna see if I can find a Studio Ghibli store to see if I can find what I'm after. Because they didn't have it at the other Studio Ghibli stores. So we were not at Osaka Station. We were closer to Universal City than we were to Osaka. Also, it's 11:34, and I'm gonna... Give me just a minute. I need to see how far we are along. Because I feel like there's not a lot of photos left. Okay, there's still quite a bit to go. Also just realized something, gonna delete that one because that's spoilers. Yeah, okay, there's a few too many photos to keep going. Alright, I'll tell you what, we're gonna end it here, I think. I have to take Dad to the airport, so I can't stay up too late tonight. If I wasn't taking Dad to the airport tomorrow morning, I would have stayed up and finished this, no problem. That kinda sucks, though, to be honest. But we basically got a little save point here where we finished at the Kyoto Railway Museum, so that's kind of like where we'll end it here. So tomorrow night, I guess, it looks like I'm gonna be finishing the Osaka stuff. And that means it's going to be an entire week of streams at this point, because that means we're going to be doing the rest of the photos tomorrow and videos. And then we're going to be, on Wednesday night now, it looks like we're going to be doing the Treasure Hoard. And Thursday night will be the recap / reflection / closing thoughts stream. And then on Friday night, I could end up streaming the Pokemon Presents. So, oh goodness. I'm not gonna have time to work on the thing that I need to work on. Oh well, never mind. These things happen. But yeah. So, join me tomorrow night, I guess. Skylar, I do have something to say. I made a note for you to make an ending screen if you haven't. I have not. I haven't had the time. I haven't been here. And I'm not gonna have the time this week either, it seems. Haha. So, I apologize on that one. But yeah. It looks like I'm gonna have to finish off the rest of the photos today. Or tomorrow. So, that's, like I said, it's unfortunate. I was hoping to get through them all tonight. But I did start half an hour later than expected. And I do have to take Dad to work in the morning at 3 o'clock. So it's just unfortunate, you know. I was really hoping to get through all this. But there's just too many photos, man. Like I said, I took 1,209 photos. And that's not all of them. I actually deleted a few of them. But there's still so much to do and so much to talk about, so we did get through like about 2/3 of them. So tomorrow night could even be a short stream, I don't know. I don't really want to rush going through the Horde, so. But yeah. Alright, well, in that case... Let's see if we can find a friend to raid tonight. I'm not... I want to raid someone because friend V raided me. But I'm not really seeing anyone tonight that I want to raid. No rush, I remember you said something about that before leaving, but either way, happy you're back. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm still very exhausted, to be honest. Like, I have not... I came home and I talked to my sister until 2 o'clock in the morning, and then woke up at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So, and that was on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday, I went to bed late. Like, I went to bed at my usual bedtime of like 11:30 or so. And woke up at about 7, rolled over, went back to sleep, and woke up at about 9 o'clock so I could get up and jump on VR chat with my friends because I missed them so much. But the problem was, I still needed a lot of sleep to catch up on. And I was thinking... Oh, shut up then. Fine. Just shut up. There, go away. But the funny thing was like, the last week where we were in Osaka, I started thinking to myself, you know, I should probably contact work and just say, hey, can I have a couple of extra days off? Like, can I just take the Monday and Tuesday off and then go back to work on Wednesday? I really should have done it. I didn't, and I went straight back to work today. And then, of course, Dad was like, oh, you know, it's your turn to take me to the airport. And I'm like, yeah, I'm running on very little sleep. Oh, fuck. I feel like I need to, like, just go and hibernate for an entire day. Just have a 24-hour nap. That's how tired I feel, and that might fix it, maybe. The recovery process, give it a couple more days. Yeah, it's gonna take a few more days, I think, to recover properly. Alright. Like I said, I'm not really seeing anyone that I kind of want to raid, so let's go and give a raid to Diacast. They are playing some VR chat. So just chatting and chilling. So we'll go and raid them. We raided them before. So, yeah, I will see you all tomorrow night where we finish up the photos and videos, and we're going to call it there. And then Wednesday is going to be the haul now, and Thursday will be the closing thoughts. I do want to finish up this, like, Japan series of streams this week, so I'm just gonna go hard with it, because we all know what my memory's like, and if I leave it too long, I'm not gonna remember anything. I'm glad, don't get me wrong, I'm actually glad that I took this many photos, because this has actually been really, really cool, like, just being able to relive the trip that I was on. And remember all of these things and all of these cool things that we saw and we did. And, oh, it's so weird to me because it feels like... It's funny because it doesn't feel like I've been back that long. And usually by this time, it feels like I've been back like 2 months. And it's only been a couple of days. But like this time around, no, it feels like I haven't been back that long. It also felt like on the trip... It felt like I had been away forever. Like, that is the life that I knew. It was so strange to me. My sense of time got completely warped up. You could take a day off sick, tell your boss that you got typhoid or something. I could. You could break this bean called Skylar Starter if they're a cute bean. I don't think that would work. Alright. Anyway, let's go ahead and raid out to Diacast. Alright, have a good night, folks. I will see you tomorrow night, where we finish up going through the photos and videos. And then Wednesday night, a very scuffed Treasure Hoard stream. Thursday night will be the Closing Thoughts stream. And then Friday night is possibly going to be the Pokemon Presents, because I would like to stream that, so... busy week. Busy week. And no working on the thing that I'm supposed to be working on. Yay. Alright. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining me.